Okay, so let's start na. So I'm recording this session through OBS para pwede nyong balikan in case gusto niyo i-review yung techniques na ituturo ko sa inyo today. So since I'm recording this, siguro pwedeng mas mabilis tayo ngayon, no? Dire-diretso na lang yung discussion. Pwede ko naman kayong hintayin. Pero if you need more time to analyze kung ano yung ginawa, you can just review the recording, no? And I'll send this recording after the class. Ha? Ganun na lang. Okay, so to begin, punta tayo dun sa overlay natin. Let's go to auxiliary. Ito, plate 15, auxiliary. Meron tayong practice worksheet dito. Gawin natin, download natin itong practice worksheet and try natin siyang i-solve, no? So there are 3 problems I think in this practice worksheet, and all of the problems are relatively easy to do, no? I think the hardest one is the last one, which requires 2 views pero doable naman. Okay. Okay. So, gawin natin, let's insert. We can do PDF import. Tapos hanapin natin yung plate natin, which is saan ko sinave? Auxiliary. I'll import page 2 first kasi nandito yung first problem natin. By the way, malinaw ba yung ano? Off ko na lang. Right, so same as before, i-import ko lang siya sa 0, 0 origin. Tapos no scaling. And walang lumalabas, no, kasi mukhang raster image. So we can't do PDF import. So in this case, delete lang natin lahat muna, no. Instead of PDF import, mukhang attach yung kailangan natin gawin, no. So again, PDF import usually works kapag ang files natin is created from if it's created directly from AutoCAD, no, or some sort of software that that AutoCAD can read. Pero kung kinreate siya yung PDF na yon through other means like especially kung raster yon yung image na yon, hindi siya nababasa through PDF import, and in those cases kailangan ang gamitin natin is attach. Okay, so again, attach is this one, or pwede ring i-type nyo lang attach. Tapos piliin natin sa drop down, by default it's all image files, pero pwede natin i-change siya to all files para lalabas itong auxiliary view. And again, page 2 lang muna i-import ko, then mamaya ko na i-import yung other pages, no. So let's do 0, 0. Yan siya. Okay. Now, to make it a little bit easier for us, ang gagawin natin is i-recreate natin tong image na to para tama yung object snapping niya, no? Kasi if gagamitin natin yung default dito, baka, or kumbaga kung mag-estimate lang tayo, baka hindi ganun ka-accurate yung magawa natin. So, let's just recreate it, and I'll set the yung PDF file ko 0 to lock para hindi natin mabago siya, or lock natin lahat. Okay? So ito, para hindi natin mabago to, if I select this and delete, wala namang magbabago. Tapos, let's create a new layer. And sabihin lang natin given, no? Parang ganyan. And bakit siya nag-add? Hopefully, hindi na-affect yung recording. Okay. So, gawin natin is, let's create a new layer. I'll just say given, tapos itong given layer, I'll make it yellow na lang siguro para mas malinaw. So, I'll just create a rectangle. And I'll estimate na halos same sila, no? It's 1.39. So, I can do, para lang ma-lock na same sila, let's do 1.4. So, 1.4 by 1.4. Press enter. And tama ba yung layer na pinili ko? Wait lang, mali pala. I'll have to double check, click the layer. So I'll do it again. And I can do 1.4 by 1.4. Okay? So okay, I'm doing this para ano class no? Exact yung ano natin measurements and hindi tayo mahihirapan. So I'm just recreating. Tapos ito naman we can copy this same rectangle right here. Copy lang natin siya, lipat natin siya sa kabila. And let's just draw a line doon sa midpoint and make sure midpoint is enabled. From the midpoint, ito is a simple object, no? Midpoint to midpoint, nakaganyan siya. And we can just trim this down, no? And in this particular case, notice how two views lang siya, pero kahit despite it being just two views, kayang-kaya natin mag-create ng wait lang ha. Did I make this? Hindi ata siya perfectly aligned. Kailangan i-redo ko lang just to ensure na it's in perfect alignment. And before that, I can do join para ma-combine sila into one object. And just to make sure na it follows the rules for projection, I'll just make a projection line here, just horizontal. Tapos lipat ko siya such that nakapatong siya dun sa horizontal line. Like so. Para lang ma-ensure na ano no, pag nag-project tayo, wala tayong issues. Okay? So again, what I'm doing here, I'm just recreating the image, no? So ito, midpoint to midpoint, this is now my broken line. And this is a good practice for you to create on how to recreate images, no? Knowing their dimensions. So ito, this is a broken line. So punta tayo sa line type. We can type in line type. Tapos may options na ganito. Let's load in a broken line. Usually, I like to use JIS, no? Yung hidden. Pwede ganyan. Any of this JIS. Or pwede rin gamitin nyo is yung hidden mismo. Merong isang ano dito. Ito, hidden. Gusto ko lang sa JIS is that mas regular yung spacing niya, no? So, mas kita siya, litaw siya for me. So, I like to use JIS. For now, I'll try to use global scale factor of 1 para lang ma-ensure na ano siya. And I'm looking at it, hindi siya litaw, no? So, ibig sabihin, masyadong maliit tong image na to for the global scale factor. So, what we'll do is, punta ulit tayo sa line type. Tapos ito, baguhin natin yung global scale factor. We'll just do an experiment. Let's do 0.01. Tapos, okay. And tingnan lang natin kung lumitaw na siya. Hindi pa rin. So, let's do masyadong maliit yung ano natin, no? Image. 0.001. And hindi pa rin, no? Ganun kalit to. Ay, sorry. Kaya pala. Kasi hindi ko pa binago to. Dapat ito should be JIS. So, maliit na nga siya. So, let's do line type again. I think 0.01 ata to. 0.01. Ano, maliit masyadong 0.01. So, let's do line type. Mukhang 0.1 yung ano, appropriate. Yan, 0.1. 0.1 is good enough, no? Okay? So, again, just make sure na dun sa properties, if you look at the properties dito sa drop down, by default it's continuous, no, or by layer siya. Piliin nyo lang yung bagong kakaload lang natin, yung JIS or hidden, whatever you chose, no. So yan siya. Now after this, probably we can recreate this ano no, itong fold line natin. I can just recreate it like so. And pwede siguro for now, I think okay na recreate na natin, no. So we can two options, pwedeng i-move natin to the side to. Let's do move command. Move lang natin to the side. Tapos dito tayo gagawa ng ano natin, auxiliary view. Or kung gusto nyo, pwede na i-delete natin to. Pero I'll be using this again kasi magre-recreate ulit tayo nito. So better na gawin natin is retain lang muna. Okay, so I just moved it to the side, no, para at least meron akong ano. Again, the purpose kung bakit ko ni-recreate muna siya is because gusto ko kasi na when I'm object snapping, especially kasi when it comes to auxiliary views, ano kasi siya, no? It's um, very much dependent doon sa mga previous views or yung mga adjacent views. So meaning that kung meron kang konting inaccuracies, nagpropagate 'yon. So para ma-ensure natin na yung auxiliary view na mapoproduce natin would be appropriate, then we need to recreate it such that nagpa-follow siya ng rules natin for projections, no? And we can do that. You can check ito, yung projection line natin will be perfectly aligned, no? Okay? Right, so before we go further, what is the purpose of auxiliary views? So auxiliary views are essentially almost the same as how we treat yung auxiliary reference planes, no? So if you remember, ano bang purpose ng mga auxiliary reference planes? It's usually because we want to expose a certain view for our 2D objects. Like for example, kung gusto natin na makita yung point view ng isang line, gumagawa tayo ng ARP that is perpendicular to a true length. Parang ganon. Kasi if we want to expose a true length, gumagawa tayo ng isang reference plane that is parallel to the given line that we want to look at the true length of. Parang ganon. So, there are purposes for different types of auxiliary reference planes. And ganon din sa auxiliary views, no? So, it's because we want to look at our solid object in a particular view that exposes some of its features in a certain manner, no? And usually, that certain manner is the true length, the true size. Okay? So, parang ang gusto natin dito is based on the instruction, sabi ng instruction, draw the auxiliary view that will give you the true size of the inclined plane. So, there is only one inclined plane here. Ito lang naman. This is that inclined plane. And, ito yung object na yun. We can easily recreate this object, no? This is just a simple object na parang meron kang parang inclined plane. And this inclined plane right here is, because this is the front view, no? Kasi if you look at it, this front view and this is the right side view. Itong broken line na to is this particular point right here. Itong edge view na, point view na to ng line na to. So, this is that line here. Right? So, ito siya. So, kaya siya may broken line. If the line were, or if this were reversed, no? Kunwari, itong image na to was reversed. Kumbaga, if the inclined plane was here instead of here, kumbaga, kung na-mirror siya, this should be a solid line. Kasi parang nakaharap na sa inyo is the right side view. Right? So, ngayon, kaya siya naging broken line na ganyan. Okay? So, ang goal lang natin is to expose the inclined plane. Now, how do we look at the inclined plane? Ano yung appropriate na auxiliary reference plane? Sa tingin nyo? We're looking at true sizes. Paano natin ina-expose ang true size ng isang plane? Gagawa tayo ng isang plane that is parallel to, hindi nyo na maalala. Edge view, tama. So, alin yung edge view ng inclined plane? It's this view right here, no? Tama? It shows the edge view. So, ang gagawin lang natin is, we just want to show the edge view. So, gagawa tayo ng isang parallel reference plane. Like so. And we can name this para lang, to be more exact. Text. I'll specify the height to be this one. And parallel to this one. And masyado malaki. I'll do text again. Ano kaya to? This is parang ganun. You can actually specify the height using the technique where you can use text. Kung if you do text, tapos you specify saan siya magsisimula, which is this one. You can, usually ang ginagawa natin, nagsispecify tayo ng height. Pero if you take a perpendicular distance, it will actually take a height, no? Or you can specify the height using, instead of inputting a number, pwedeng based on the movement of your mouse. So I want to specify it somewhere, siguro ganyan yung height na gusto ko. Parang ganyan. Now, I can specify the angle which is along this line. Para pag tinype ko to, ARP, this is ARP1. Tapos sa baba is, FRP, no? Tama? And if I press Control Enter, I have created my ARP. Masyadong maliit pala ginawa ko. Let me do text again. Tapos, specify ko yung height. Mga ganyan siguro. And angle niya is, oops, sorry. Let's do text. Click this one, specify the height. I'll make sure na perpendicular para ma-specify ko yung height. Something like that. Angle is this one. I'll type in ARP1 and HFRP. Okay. Now we can begin to do our projection lines. Okay, so the projection line, this is a fairly easy object. So, madali lang natin siya ma-recreate. Let's just create our projection lines. I'm just creating the projection lines of, the major lines first. Yung kita sa ARP1. Tapos mamaya ko na poproblemahin yung mga hidden lines. So, from this particular view, if you are looking at it from this view, no? So, kumbaga dito tayo nakatingin. Mula dito, papunta dyan. Ang makikita natin is itong plane na to. This plane. Kita din natin yung inclined plane. And kita natin tong front plane na to. More of the left side plane. No? Ito, hindi natin kita, no? Nasa likod kasi itong plane na to. And also this plane. Nasa ilalim siya. So, hindi pa siya kita. So, ngayon, ang gagawin ko lang is just exposing the first few planes muna. No? Right? Now, ang rules natin sa ARP1 is that if this is the view, it's 2 views away, tama? So, it's 1, 2. Ito yung parang basis for our distances. Okay? So, we can create a line para lang may tayo na guidelines kung as the basis for distances. So, let's use our circle tool as sort of a compass para lang mag-measure tayo ng distances. And let's measure yung distance ng edge na to, no? Which is, pwede natin actually i-measure lang to. I'll just measure one distance, which is this distance right here. Ito. Mula dyan, papunta dito. Okay? That's the distance. Measure ko sa papunta dyan. And because I know how it will be rotated in space, parang madali lang na ma-imagine ko na actually we can create a perpendicular line, no? Or a parallel line to the fold line. Such that makaka-create ako ng isang line na ganito. And all of these lines, or etong points na to, this point, and this point, and this point is yung front side na points. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Tama? So, ito siya. So, para makita yung far side points, yung far points na yon, let me just disable midpoint to kasi medyo sa snap siya automatically kasi. So, to get that, ang gagawin lang natin is, let's just measure from here, papunta dun sa furthest distance, which is this one. Kasi itong distance na to, this point right here, is actually the point dun sa pinaka, kumbaga, yung opposite side nitong, itong quadrilateral na to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Di pala. Itong non-regular na, pentagon. Okay? Yung parang diamond shape na to. Okay? So, gagawin natin is, lipat natin siya. So, again, this is measured from here. So, I'll measure it from the fold line. Tapos, I can also create a line. Diretso na. Papunta dyan. And I can just trim this down. And what I have created here is actually the auxiliary view of this one. Okay? So, parang pagka inikot nyo siya, try to imagine na tinitingnan natin yung object na to from this auxiliary reference plane. So, parang umiikot siya at the back. No? So, parang if this is the fold line, ikot siya under the line itself. So, ito yung makikita natin. Right? So, ito, almost complete na to. Ang kulang na lang is actually the hidden lines, no? Kasi there is itong plane na to, hindi pa natin kita dito. And because auxiliary views are regular na regular reference planes, then kailangan ipakita din yung correct visibility, which means that kailangan kita yung hidden lines. Okay? So, to show the hidden line, ang need lang naman natin is this point right here. Tama? So, we can just directly from here create a perpendicular line like so. And pwede siguro i-trim ko na to para mas malinis. And I know this is a hidden line. Quick way to do that is I'll just copy this. I'll do MA for match properties. Tapos pwede kong i-match property siya dito. Para hindi ko na isa-set up, no? Kasi medyo matrabaho kasi yung para mag-set pa ako ng properties, etc. etc. If you already have an existing line that you want to match the properties of, pwedeng MA nyo lang. So just select the line na gusto nyo pagkopyahan ng properties. You type in MA or match prop. Press enter. Then ilipat nyo lang sa kung saan nyo gustong i-copy yung ano. And that is now our auxiliary reference plane. We have successfully showed the true size, and I'll type in TS, no, just to show it. We have successfully shown the true size of the inclined plane, which is this one. Okay? Sige, ipapahabol ko muna kayo. So yung mga nandito, may nakakuha na? Okay naman? So madali lang, no? Especially because this is an easy shape to do. Later on, let's do some more complicated shapes, and probably doon matcha-challenge yung ano natin, no, visualization. Okay? This is the 2D version, and actually sa plate natin, yung plate na ibibigay sa inyo 2D lang din talaga yung pinapagawa, no? Wala lang 3D version. Pero ipapakita ko pa rin yung 3D way of finding the auxiliary plane kasi it will be helpful for you guys to visualize kung paano umiikot yung ano, no, yung object natin in space. I'll show the 3D version here. I think marami naman nakakuha na kasi relatively easy yung object natin. Let's try to do the 3D version. I'll just put it to the side, no? Dito na lang yung 3D version. So to do the 3D version, I'll just rotate it around. Again, I like to when I'm starting off the 3D version, usually gusto kong medyo orbit around siya ng konti, no, para mas madaling ma-imagine in space. So let's do a box of 1.4, di ba? Tama? Yun yung ginamit natin, 1.4 by 1.4. Tapos i-pull natin siya pataas, which is also 1.4 kasi yung shape na to is actually a cube, no? Ganyan. And I'll change this render style ko to, or visual style to hidden para lang mas ma-imagine. So yan yung object na to. This is the 1.4 by 1.4. And since this is the front view, ang front view natin, di ba, kakat natin tong side na to to show the inclined plane. Tama? So it's as easy as just creating a line and making sure that dynamic UCS is on. I'll create a line, hover over the plane kasi gusto kong makita. Before that pala, on ko ulit yung midpoint. Okay, so hover over the plane para to ensure na dito ako magdodraw sa plane na to. Tapos, hanapin ko yung midway point. This one, papunta dun sa other midway point, which is this one. Tapos, press pull na lang. Press pull natin siya diretso papunta sa likod, no? So, if we do press pull, this one, press pull natin siya diretso. And so, sobrahan ko na. Pwede naman isakto nyo siya dito. Ako, I'll just like, especially when I'm carving out planes, no? Pinapasobrahan ko siya. So, pwede siguro ganyan. And I have created the object. The object is very simple, no? Fairly simple siya. Ito yung object natin. So, from the front view, ito yung nakikita. From the side view, ito yung nakikita. Tama? And hindi lang kita dito yung hidden lines because of the rendering style, no? If I do X-ray, siguro mas malinaw siya. So, if I do front view, ito siya. If I do the right side view, this is the one. Tapos, ito yung hidden line sa likod nung X-ray natin. Okay? So, gagawin natin is, I want to show the auxiliary view. To show the auxiliary view, there are many ways to do it. Kung paano mo ipapakita yung auxiliary view. Easiest way to do it is to do UCS, no? I can do UCS. Tapos, since this is an easy inclined plane, I can press F for face. And I'll just place my UCS on top of the face. Parang ganyan. I'll just say, and I'll just press enter. Then I select itong top. Tapos ikot ko lang siya. And actually, ito na yung ano natin. Yung auxiliary view. Tama? Which is the same na makukuha natin from when we're using 2D methods, no? So, ito siya. Let's do hidden lines ulit para mas malinaw. Parang ganyan. So, ang mangyayari lang is wala lang yung hidden line dito, no? Kasi, again, because of the way this is rendered, no? So, ito siya. It's just exactly the same na sa nakuha natin using 2D methods. Ito, okay to for visualization purposes. Nasa 3D model space tayo. Pero when we want to print this out, better kung ano, no, nasa layout space tayo. So we can also do layout space. So, here, let me just set up a, ano, no, gusto ko mag-set up ng para sa layout. Ano ba tawag ko dito? I'll just say aux na lang. And I'll set a color blue siguro para medyo maganda. So gawin natin is I'll change to my aux layer. What we want to do is create muna tayo ng a projection, no, or a viewport. We can do viewport. Tapos let's just select the front view, no. So I'll just select in an area here, pag ganyan. Tapos, sorry. Mukhang kailangan baguhin ko to, no. Ito dapat gawin ko blue para lumitaw siya. So ito na siya. So gagawin ko is go inside my viewport. Tapos I'll change this to world coordinate system. Tapos punta ko sa top view ulit para kita siya. Tapos ang gagawin natin is I'll just select, this is not top view ba to? I'll go into the front view, no? Tama. Ito. And I'll just zoom it in doon sa front view ng object. Parang ganyan. And double click out para makita itong ano. Okay? This will be recorded as a viewport, no? Wait lang. Nasa aux layer siya. Okay, mamaya i-ano ko yan. Okay? So this is my viewport. The command is sol view. So if you select sol view, meron siyang auxiliary view dito. Okay? So sol view is actually a deprecated na command, no? And hindi siya ginagamit kasi completely replaced na siya by the view base. Pero the good thing about sol view is it still has auxiliary, no? Si view base kasi natin, the more modern tool, wala kasi siyang auxiliary function. So it's better if you want to use if you want to show auxiliary views dito sa sa sol view. Okay? Again, the command is sol view. Tapos let's choose auxiliary. Now, ang gagamitin natin is we want to select the inclined plane. Okay? So by default, automatic nag-off yung object snapping, no? So you want to turn it on again, and I'll just select endpoint. Press OK. Tapos select ko tong endpoints na to kasi this is the inclined plane. Okay, I select the two points, this endpoint and this endpoint. Tapos we have the two options, no? We want to view it from this side, kumbaga nandito yung line of sight natin, or pwede rin from the other side, which is nandito yung line of sight. Obviously, we want to choose dito, no? Dito sa point of view na to. Tama? Kasi we are looking at it from the upper left side. Kumbaga nandito yung line of sight natin. Gusto natin tingnan yung inclined plane na yon. So I'll just select this point. Now, you are to select kung gaano kalayo mo gustong i-place yung auxiliary view. Let's just estimate kasi pwede namang i-adjust siya later on. I'll just estimate somewhere here. And medyo malayo. Ilipat ko ulit dito somewhere. Malayo pa rin. Mga ganyan siguro. You can do left click multiple times. Ito, ili-left click ko lang somewhere dyan siguro. And if when I'm happy, I press enter. Tapos you select, kasi gusto mong i-limit yung size ng viewport. I'll just select siguro from here to here. Parang ganyan. And press PS, escape, tapos PS lang para nasa paper space na ulit tayo. Okay? So parang ganyan. And medyo malaki yung viewport ko, no? I'll adjust this viewport para ang kita lang is the 3D space. Wait lang, ha? Naglalag yung ko. So I'll just select this. Nawawala yung cursor ko for some reason. Let me just replay. I'll just adjust konti. Region. Read. Nawawala kasi cursor ko, no? For some reason. Wait lang, ah. Dahil ba dito? Dito naman cursor ko. Mukhang kailangan ko i-restart saglit, no? Wait lang. Let's do auxiliary. I'll just restart my program. Auxiliary. Hopefully that fixes it, no? Okay, naayos na yung cursor issue. Sometimes, medyo ganun si AutoCAD, no? Medyo finicky siya. So, ito, I can create something that looks like this. And pwedeng i-off natin yung grid, no? Let's do grid off. Another way to quickly turn off the grid is to just select this one. Itong sa bottom left. Click nyo lang siya. Tapos, mawawala siya. And this is exactly the auxiliary view, no? So, ito siya. So, kita nyo, ito yung object natin. Auxiliary view is shown here. And that's another way you can create the auxiliary view from the layout preview. Tapos, minsan pangit kasi ito nakaganito, no, na if you look at it, ang pangit kasi may boxes siya. The way we can remove the boxes is to just select this one. Pili tayo ng doon sa properties, lipat lang natin sila lahat sa layer. Yung layer na to, lipat natin dito sa, let's select viewports na lang. Lipat natin lahat sa viewports. Tapos ito, doon sa layer property ng viewports, let's just hide it, no? Pagka pinindot nyo tong hidden, you turn the current layer off. Mangyayari is it turns the borders of the viewports off, no? Pero yung actual view is actually still there, no? So parang ganyan. So that's a quick way of doing viewports, no? Parang so you can create a auxiliary view using this one. And if you want to make this complete, pwedeng gawin natin is let's create a line. Pwedeng from this line to this point para pwedeng gumawa tayo ng wait lang, wait lang. Gumawa ba ko line dito? Okay na siguro to. Let me just hindi ko ma-edit yung viewport. Wait. Sa viewports, i-show ko muna ulit to para lang mas lock ko siya. I'll just right click, display locked, yes, para hindi na siya mabago. Isolate, display lock, turn it to yes again. Tapos let's just create some lines, no? I'll just create a line first here para pwede akong gumawa ng parallel line to the line that I have created. And for some reason hindi siya nakikita. Let me turn off midpoint, baka mas hindi niya nakikita. Para sigurong ito na lang. I'll just move the line here. Ano yun? Eto? Sige, ulitin ko na lang lahat. Sige, ulitin natin lahat. So, nagawa nyo na to. Ito. Okay na to? Yung first viewport. So, para magawa yung second, ito? Dito sa layers? Etong viewports kasi lumalabas to pag nag-solve view ka, no? So, if you haven't done the solve view first, hindi lumalabas to. Pwedeng later on mo na siya i-set. Pero, pagka nag-start ka ng ganito, the way you do it is viewports muna. Not viewports. Solve view. Ang command is solve view. Solve view. Tapos, piliin nyo yung auxiliary. Ito. Okay? So again, solve view. The command is solve view. Select auxiliary. Tapos, ang gagawin natin is we select 2 points that defines the auxiliary reference plane. So, ang gusto natin is, yung 2 points na isa-select natin would be parallel to this one. Now, the bad thing about solve view is that once you enter solve view, parang dinidisable niya automatically yung O-snap natin. So, kailangan natin i-re-enable siya. So, just select endpoint. Kasi pwede namang endpoint lang yung enabled natin. Tapos, select lang natin tong 2 endpoints na to. This endpoint and this endpoint. Tama? By doing so, ang ginawa natin is, sinelect natin yung parallel reference plane. Kumbaga, that is parallel to the, or we selected a reference plane that is parallel to the inclined plane. So, select this one. Now, select kayo ng side. Kasi pwede kayo mag-select dito sa side na to, this one, or pwede kayo mag-select dito sa side na to. If you select this side, you are viewing it from this angle. Para ganyan. Nandito yung line of sight nyo. If you select this side, then you are viewing it from this angle. So, essentially, you are saying na I want to view it from the left side of my defined auxiliary reference plane. So, I'll just select a point outside. Dito lang. Click ko lang. Now, once you have that, pwede nyo na i-pull out siya ng ganyan. Okay? So, may parang, may lumalabas na parang tracking line. So, this tracking line is perpendicular to the defined na auxiliary reference plane natin. Okay? Now, again, the bad thing about doing this is that medyo mahirap ma-determine kung nasaan siya mag-end. So, gawin nyo lang is just select an area. Kunwari ito, left click ko lang dito. Tapos, kung titingnan nyo, masyadong malayo to. Okay? So, I can readjust it. Lagay nyo lang siya dito. Tapos, left click again. Tapos, mag-adjust siya. Ito, masyado bang malayo. So, I just pull it closer. Left click again. Ito, I think I'm happy with this, no? Again, you can readjust. Parang click lang kayo ng click. Left click lang ng left click. Hanggang makuha nyo yung gusto nyong distance. If you're happy with the distance, you can now press enter. Okay? So, I think I'm happy with this distance right here. So, I press enter. And now, ang tatanungin niya is to select the corner of the viewport. Kasi again, this is just a preview of the viewport, no? Right now, gusto ko kasi ang viewport ko would only span the solid, no? Ayokong isali to. So, gusto ko, i-select lang siya hanggang dito lang. Parang ganyan lang. Okay? May masasama konti, pero okay lang yun. We can always hide. And when you're happy with this, you just press escape. Then PS para mag-exit out kayo sa model space. And you have something that looks like this. Now again, pag nakaganito siya, ang pangit lang sa kanya is that kita yung borders ng viewport. So ang gusto natin gawin is to just select the two viewports and go into properties. Lipat natin siya sa isang layer. I suggest the viewport layer. Pero we can always select new layer, no? Layer of our choice. Kasi hindi nagmamatter kung saan natin siya ilagay. Kasi ang gagawin lang naman natin is i-hide yung layer na yon. By hiding that layer, ma-remove natin yung borders ng viewport na yon. So, I'll just say viewports. Sa viewports ko lang siya ilalagay. Tapos, dito sa viewports, ito-turn off ko tong light bulb na to. So, by turning off the light bulb, turn off, mangyayari is, na-delete ko yung parang border niya. So, that's just a quick way of doing a layout of your viewports, no? So, ito siya. So, this is entirely made from viewports lang. Okay? Nakuha ba? Yung dito? Wait lang para lang mas malinaw. Let me just hide this first, no, yung 2D manual natin. Okay, ulitin natin. Okay, third time. Ulitin natin. Off na. Gawin ka lang ulit. Okay. Let me delete. Ito yung ginawa natin. So, we started with a viewport na kita yung front view. Paano to gawin? Sige, ulitin natin lahat. So, go to layout. Piliin nyo tong rectangular. Ito. Then, create a rectangular viewport. So, pwedeng ganyan. Now, ang gagawin natin is enter tayo sa viewport. I-place natin siya such that naka-center yung, this is still the top view. So, ang gagawin kasi natin, gusto kasi natin yung front view. So, click lang natin tong parang ano natin, navigation box para mahanap itong front view natin, which is this one. Ito, nakaikot siya. So, we'll have to, mag-UCS, WCS muna tayo para sure na correct yung orientation. Okay, and you just find the correct orientation of your front view. Okay, ito si front view. Yan siya. So, hanapin nyo lang. Parang ganyan. And when you're happy, double-click outside or type PS and this is now your viewport. Okay? Tapos, gawin mo is para ma-ensure na hindi nyo na magalaw to kasi baka accidentally ma-zoom in, ma-double-click nyo and zoom in, zoom out. Para hindi nyo magalaw siya, select it, right-click, then you go into display lock, gawin yung yes. Okay, so ito, hindi na to gagalaw regardless if papasok kayo dyan. If you zoom in and out, hindi siya magagalaw. So, okay na yan. Okay, so you're here. Pag nandito na kayo, ang gagawin natin is, again, the command is solve view, no? So, you do solve view, select auxiliary, then, enable endpoint, para pwede tayong mag-object snap dito. So, again, we're defining the inclined na ARP. So, I'll select this point and this point. Then, after selecting that, I select a side. Again, if I select this side, I'm viewing it from this angle. If I select the bottom side, I'm viewing it from the bottom, no? Para dito ako nakatingin. So, obviously, I want it to be this side. So, click ko lang, left click. Then, after left clicking, I have this tracking line. The tracking line just shows you kung gaano kalayo from the original view mailalagay yung new auxiliary view nyo. So again, hindi kasi obvious kung saan siya malalagay. So, you can just left click anywhere, no? So, pwede ang gawin nyo is, estimate muna kayo. Left click. Tapos, kung masyadong malayo, kunwari ito, masyadong malayo kasi obviously out of the page na siya, you can pull it back. Parang ganyan, estimate nyo lang. Pull it back. Yan. Yan, pasok na siya. Tama? So, kung okay na kayo dito, probably pull back pa. Parang ganyan. Okay na siya. It's in the page. Tapos, hindi rin siya coinciding dun sa ano natin. Original. So now, I'm happy with that. Ang gagawin ko is, I press enter. Now that I pressed enter, pipiliin ko na yung viewport. Kasi this is just a preview of the viewport pa. So, pipili ako ng size ng viewport. I can select this one until here. Okay? And when I left click, I have this one. So, pwede ko siyang i-double click out. Escape pa kasi you can name the viewport, no? Kunwari ito. Pwede nyo i-name as, kunwari, if you want to name it as auxiliary, kunwari. Aux. Press enter. Yun na yung bagong name niya. And just press escape. Okay? So, this is now your viewport. Okay? So, ito sila. Tapos, para matanggal yung borders, I just put them into one layer. I've selected the viewports layer. And this viewports layer is automatically created when you do solve view, no? Para, pwedeng ang gawin ko is, dun sa solve view layer, layer. Select ko muna ito. I do properties, lipat ko to sa viewports, tapos dun sa viewports layer, i-turn off ko siya. So by turning it off, natanggal yung ano, although dahil ano siya, i-change natin yung layer order, no? Pwede siguro, we can do draw order. Like objects. Ay, hindi yata mag-work to. Okay na pala. Pwede siguro i-move natin to. Medyo sinobrahan ko pala. Masyadong malaki yung ano ko, no? Let me do this again, no? Medyo na-OC ako. Layer properties. Ulitin ko lang to kasi nag-overlap pala yung viewport ko dito. So, kaya naputol niya yung ano, no? Ulitin ko lang. Again, ang gagawin natin is we do rectangular dito sa insert viewport. Create lang tayo ng rectangular na ano, viewport dito. Tapos, ang gagawin natin is let's enter the rectangular viewport. Tapos, we want to make sure na naka-WCS kayo. We want to show the front view, which is this one. That's the front view. And probably size it correctly, no? Ganyan siguro. Yan. Double click out. Then again, you use solve view. Select auxiliary. Then turn on endpoint para mahanap natin tong this point and this point. Select a side. I'm selecting this side kasi gusto ko mag-view from this angle. Then select a distance kung saan ko i-drawing. Again, ang pangit dito kasi hindi kita yung preview kung saan siya malalagay. So, I'm just estimating muna. I'll just left click here. And kita ko naman ito mukhang okay na distance. So, pero I can always adjust it by left clicking again. So yan, notice how every time you left click, nagbabago yung distance niya. If you're happy with the distance, I think I'll place it somewhere here siguro. Or even further, no? Parang ganyan. Or ganyan. Kaya na yan. When I'm happy with the distance, I press enter. Then select the viewport na corners for the new auxiliary view na create ko. So I'll just bound it here. Ganyan. And you can enter a name. Pwedeng optional lang naman to. I won't bother entering a name. So escape ko lang. And now I can double click out. And this is now my viewport. No? Ito, tanggalin ko pala muna yung grid lines para malinis siya. Yan. Now, I can select layer properties again. Turn off the viewport like so to have something that looks like this. And this is now your auxiliary view. Okay? So, siguro, I've shown it 3 times already now. So, kung hindi ba rin nakuha, review nyo na lang yung video siguro para mag-gets nyo kung paano siya i-create, no? Pero, this is how it should look like, no? Parang ganyan. Pero, when we look at our 2D, recreation, and let me just isolate and object isolation. Palitan ko pala to. Saan ko ba nilagay yun? Given. Yellow. You can see na from world coordinate system. Yun din naman nakuha natin using 2D methods, no? Ito. The good thing about the 2D method is if I delete the projection lines, ang ano lang ng 2D methods is that you can show the hidden lines, no? And for the plate, you'll have to show the hidden lines. Required na when you're doing auxiliary method, you need to show the hidden lines. Alright? So, ito. This is 3D method. Ito naman 2D method to. Alright? Sige. Let's not dwell on this, no? Feeling ko madali lang kasi to. Let's try to proceed with the next object. And let's do 2D wireframe ulit para makita natin yung image. Again, let's try to recreate this image para sakto yung object snapping natin. Ito, madali lang naman i-recreate din. Using the same layer, yung given na layer ko, I'll just do rectangle. Tapos, I'll estimate. Tingnan natin kung ano yung distance nito. Oh, sorry. Ano yung... Piliin ko yung given layer ulit. Okay? I'll just do REC. Mukhang 1.4 pa rin, no? Tama? Or mas malaki to. 1.5, 1.45. And it seems like it's a cube again, no? So I'll just do 1.45. 1.45 by 1.45 again. Okay? So yan yung size ng object ko. Tapos let's do copy. We can do copy. Let's copy this object. Move lang natin straight downwards. Kasi again, para ma-follow yung projection lines niya. Like so. So yan yon. And let's do a horizontal line to show na nandito yung HRP. Obviously, if you're doing the plate, you don't need to do this, no? Kasi yung plate na i-provide sa inyo is created using AutoCAD. Automatic, ano na yon, sakto na yung mga points niya. You can easily snap. Dito, I'm just recreating it para, ano, no, maganda yung, ano natin, yung object snapping natin. Okay? So, ito, this is 1/3 of the way. So, I can probably, pwede siguro, pwede ba mag-div ng isang ano? I'm not quite sure dito, no? Div 3? Hindi pwede. P-type. Wait lang, ha? May tatry lang ako. Hindi nga pwede. Kasi perimeter siya. So, I'll just create a line first. Ito, I'll just create this line. Papunta dyan. Para lang pwede akong mag-divide nung line into 3. Para may marker ako, no? Itong marker na to. And I'll remove the first. Yan. Para alam ko kung saan siya. Kasi I know that it is divisible by 3, no? Tapos ito naman sa midway point to. So, enable lang natin yung midpoint. Let's do midpoint pa ganyan. Tapos from here, from the marker, diretso pa baba. Like so. Ito naman, from this point, diretso pa baba. Pa ganyan. Right? Tapos, pwedeng trim lang natin to. Let's trim this out. Remove the markers. And that should be the top image completed. Now, dito naman, we can just bring this down. Tapos, kung saan siya tumama, connect lang natin siya dun sa bottom corner. Tama? Dito. Okay? And let's trim it. Trim, trim. Ito naman, it's just this point right here. If we bring it down, kung saan siya tumama dyan, we can trim it. Tapos, itong intersection point na to, we can move it to the left, which will be exactly at the midpoint po. And this is possible because again, nag-ano kasi tayo, ni-recreate natin siya using 2D means. So ito, I can type from here. Pwede ko na i-type to, no? Let's do HRP. Sorry. I'll do text. TEX. And I'll just do 0. HRP sa taas, FRP sa baba. Okay, control enter. Now ito, move ko lang siya off to the side para makuha ko yung recreated ko na, no? And I can trim this as well, no? Para ganyan. So this, sorry. Kulang pa pala. Trim natin to. Let's trim this, everything, and magiging ganyan siya. So this is a recreation of this one. Tama ba? Sorry. Isa pang trim, no? This one. Trim pa natin. So magiging ganyan siya. Okay? Ito yung mahirap kasi hindi ko mapapakita sa recording, no? Kasi magdo-drawing kasi ako sa board ng sketching siya. Pero siguro you can sketch this out on your own, no? This image right here, again, it takes a bit of practice, no, para ma-imagine nyo kung paano yung itsura niya in space. Pero if you just look at it, kaya naman, no, kahit 2 views to, based on our hidden views lesson, kaya natin ma-determine kung ano yung itsura niya in space. And for this particular case, let's just draw an estimate of the glass box. So, itong glass box is something like this. Kasi ano siya, cube. Tapos, you'll notice na para siyang inclined. Kasi if you look at the front view, puro inclined siya. Tama? Tapos, meron ka lang L shape. Tapos, meron parang flat area. So, again, when we're doing sketching, usually ang best way to start is to first find the normals na nakadikit dun sa glass box natin. Ano sa tingin nyo yung nakadikit sa glass box? Probably this one, no? Ito na sa baba. Ito yung nakadikit sa glass box. Nag-agree ba kayo? It's this edge view right here. Itong edge view na to, siya yung nakadikit sa glass box. This one. Okay? So, if we just estimate, dito sa ano natin, something like, ganyan, no? Tama? Tapos, doon sa top view, isa lang naman ang nakadikit sa glass box dito sa top view, no? Which is this one. Itong edge view na to. Which, if you look at the image, parang it corresponds to this one. Tama? All others, parang ano na siya, hindi sila nakadikit sa glass box. So, estimate natin nandito siya. Somewhere like so. Tama? Let's find the other normal. Would you agree na ito ay normal? Normal siya na parallel sa top view. Tama? Which means na itong particular plane na to is actually this edge view. Make sense? So, if we draw a sketch, para siyang nakaganyan, no? Something like, probably ganyan. So, by connecting the dots, and I'll remove the glass box na para hindi nakakalito. I'll just remove the glass box. If I try to connect the dots, this is the L shape. Ito. Now, I can just connect this one. Tama? Does it make sense ba? Would you agree na ito yung sort of sketch nitong image natin? Kita natin yung L, no? Yung parang reverse L. This one, na inclined. The L is inclined. Tapos nakita natin yung normal, yung parang onto the left side, may normal dyan. Tapos doon sa far side, may normal din dito. Tapos kita natin from the side view, ito yung two planes na kita, no? This plane right here and this plane right here. Okay? So, then, sobrang valuable na kung marunong kayo mag-sketch, no? Kasi easily ma-recreate nyo yung drawing para alam nyo agad kung ano yung potential solution niya, no? Some students don't like to sketch. Ang ginagawa nila is diretso 3D, no? Okay lang din yun. If you have, kumbaga, mas comfortable na kayo na gumawa ng 3D objects agad, okay lang yun. That would even be better, no? Kasi at least kaya-kaya nyo nang gumawa ng 3D objects simply by just looking at 2D, two views. Okay? Pero ako, I always start with sketch, no? Kasi parang mas, madali ko siyang na-imagine and I can sort of rotate it in my head, no? Parang ganun. So, merong game pala. Wait lang. Before I proceed, no? Meron akong game na nilalaro dati. It's, ano ba yung game na yun? It's a mobile app. Hindi ko alam kung sikat pa ba yun. Pero para siyang mga planes in space. Tapos iikot-ikot mo siya para mag-create ng image. Parang polygon ata. Polygon. Hanapin ko yung game na yun, no? Pero it's a good way to practice your imagination. Maganda doon is para nakalutang yung mga planes in space, tapos makikita nyo kung paano siya umiikot, and it gives you an imagination, no, kung paano siya nag-work yung mga planes in space. Pero ito, this is the object, tapos yan yung imagination natin. Gagawin natin is, let's try to create the ang instruction kasi is to create the auxiliary view that will give you the true size of the inclined plane. And there is only one inclined plane, no? This one, right here. All others are normal. Kasi ito, this is a normal. Normal to the top view. Normal to the top view. This is the inclined. This is normal to the front view. This is normal to the front view. Tapos yung normal sa right side view is actually itong mga to. Itong nasa edge view dito. Okay? So now that we have this, to get the normal, the true size, we have to create a auxiliary reference plane that is parallel to the edge view. So, gagawin lang natin is, we take an edge view here. So, we make it parallel, like so. And that is our auxiliary reference plane. And we can probably label this, no? So, gagawin natin is, lagay natin dito. Sorry. Let's do text. Lagay ko lang dito. Let's inherit the last na text na height na ginawa natin. So, I'll just press space or enter. Then, ito yung direction niya. I can type ARP1 doon sa right side. Tapos, FRP sa left side. If I press Control Enter, I have this image right here. Okay? Tapos, gawin natin is create the projection line. Again, I'm starting with the projection line ng mga yung kita muna. And in fact, better kung ang gawin ko is projection line lang muna ng inclined plane. Okay? So when you're doing auxiliary reference planes, usually also a good tip to do this is to first find the inclined plane. And in our case, yung inclined plane is the L shape, yung reverse L na to. So, pwedeng gawin natin is, hanapin muna natin yung L shape na yon. And para lang hindi kayo malito, I can probably change the color, no? I'll do Control 1. Change ko lang yung color para lang, iba yung kulay ng projection lines natin. If you want your solution to be more organized, you can do this in your actual na, plate. I just create a perpendicular line to the reference plane. That will be my projection lines. Tapos, ito lang yung tatlong lines na ipo-project ko. So, why these 3 lines? Kasi sila yung nagde-define ng L shape ko. Okay? Now, I have this one. Change my... Ang basis for distances would be etong si HRP. Tama? So, 2 views away. Again, we are here, ARP1. 2 views away is 1, 2. So, ito yung basis ng distances. So, let's first find the distance of... Actually, as early as now, pwede nating sort of find the distance of the glass box, no? So, it's as easy as getting this distance. And this is the good thing about cubes, no? Cubes or parang parallelograms or rectangular prisms is that kaya-kaya mo ma-determine agad yung bounds ng glass box natin. Kasi ito, this is the kumbaga nearer bound, which is this one. And now you can create a line, parallel line like so. Tapos, you get the further bound, which is from here to here. And notice how hindi ko na kinikreate yung hindi ko na ginagawa ng line dito because yung sa object snapping ko, naka-on kasi yung perpendicular na distance ko. So, whenever I create rectangles, nagka-create na siya ng circles, it already creates a perpendicular distance, para ganun. So, that's an easy way to find distances na hindi naman nag-add ng more projection lines. So, this is the distance from the fold line. So, from the fold line, measure ko siya dito. That is the, kumbaga, if you can call it an upper bound, no? Kumbaga, parang gano'n, no? Or farther bound ng natin glass box. So, we can just trim it down. We have something that looks like this. Tapos, i-draw na natin yung L shape natin. So, what defines the L shape is kung nasaan itong distance na to. Tama? So, pwede, ang gawin natin is, we can measure from here to here. Or pwede din mag-measure tayo from here to here. Doesn't really matter. As long as ang pinili nating distances to measure is parallel to the primary reference planes. Again, yung mga primary reference planes natin, or primary axis natin is yung X, Y, and Z axis, no? So, I can measure from here to here. Tama? So, I know that this is that measurement. Papunta dyan. Up until this point. So, I can create a line papunta dito. Then, I can create a perpendicular line papunta dito. And from here, kaya ko na ma-follow yung shape, no? Of the L shape. So, ito siya. So, I can trim this down. And if I erase the circle, ito siya. I have found the L shape. So, now that I have the L shape, sobrang dali na ma-create itong etong other planes. Gagawin natin is, let's find, pwede natin isa-isa yun, no? Kunwari, let's find this normal first. This one. So, this normal here is, siya yung nakadikit dito sa taas. Tama? So, hanapin lang natin siya. This normal here is, ang projection lines niya, and let me just change properties again and make it green para lang mas malinaw. Ang projection line lang naman nito is this one. Tama? Ganyan. Now, I can measure distances. Pwede ko namang i-measure ulit yung distances like so. Pero, knowing that this is a cube, parang alam ko na if I continue this projection line papunta dito, yun na yung auxiliary view nitong normal na to. Tama? And I can use the extend tool. EX ko lang to. Extend tool is EX. Extend ko lang siya papunta dyan. Ito rin, extend ko. And let me draw a line here. From here to here. And let me trim. So ito na yung normal na yun. This is this normal right here. Ito siya. Kita na siya dito. Tama? Next, ano yung next na pwedeng lumitaw dito sa auxiliary view? The last plane. Etong other normal, no? This one? Tama? So, ito na yung hanapin din natin. Again, that normal is this one. So, ito, let me change my color again to green. Yung last projection line na pwede kong i-create is this projection line right here. Napunta dito. Okay? Again, based on how this looks, alam ko agad na if I extend this line, EX, ito, kung saan siya tumama dito, and if I connect this point to this point, I have already found that other normal right here. Okay? So, ito siya. So, nandito yung, kumbaga, etong, if I could call this point 1, ito, kunwari, point 1 yun nandito. Point 1, point 2, point 3, and point 4. Point 1, 2 is this one. So, meaning, dito si 1, dito si 2. Tapos ito, kunwari, point 3, point 4. So, ito is point view of 4, 3. So, nandito si 4, nandito si 3. So, kaya siya ganun. You can always label it, no? Kung nalilito kayo, pwede namang i-label nyo. Pero in my case, hindi ko na siya i-label, no? Parang medyo, parang kaya ko naman ma-imagine siya in space na ganyan yung itsura niya. Okay? So now that I have these lines, pwede siguro i-trim ko tong projection line na to para lang mas malinis. Parang ganyan. I have this projection lines. This is now my final answer. Pero may kulang pa dito. Again, auxiliary views are still, ano siya, no? They follow the rules for projection and they must follow correct visibility as well. So, ano yung line na kulang dito? Tingin nyo. Merong hidden line na hindi pa na-account dito sa view na to. What is that line? Ito, no? Tama? Would you agree? Itong point view na to. Dapat kita siya as a hidden line dito sa view na to. Nasa likod siya, kumbaga. Tama? So, let's find that line. It's as easy as just projecting like so. And that is that line. And let's do yellow ulit. Complete lang natin from this point to this point. And para di na tayo mahirapan, copy lang natin to. Since we've already made the effort to do the properties here, gawin natin match properties to. So, MA again. Match property dun sa line. The yellow line. Tama? And we can probably trim the green line, no? Let's do trim the green line para hindi siya lito. Parang ganyan lang siya. Okay? So, we have effectively found the final answer, which is this one. So, that's the 2D method. 3D method, madali lang yung 3D method, no? The hardest part of doing the 3D method is actually finding drawing the solid, the 3D solid again, no? So, yun lang naman yung mahirap sa kanya. In this case, kaya natin siya i-drawing, no? Anong ginamit natin dimension? 1.45 ba yun? 45 ba? Okay, sige. Before I draw the 3D image, try nyo muna humabol konti. Yung nasa F2F session natin. Pero nakuha naman to, no? Na-imagine nyo ba? And you should be able to imagine this in space, no? Kung paano siya umiikot in space. Kasi essentially, auxiliary views are sort of rotated na views lang, no? And the good thing about auxiliary views is that it shows you kumbaga the volume of the shape of your object as it is rotated in space, no? Tapos pwede nyo ding isipin na yung isometric view is a sort of auxiliary view lang din siya. It's viewed from an angle wherein nag-grade siya ng mga 30-degree line. Okay? So, try natin i-recreate itong object na to. Ano sa tingin nyo yung easiest way to recreate this? For me, I feel like the easiest way to recreate this is to create a step. Parang step lang muna. Let's create a step, tapos i-chop off natin tong inclined plane. Tapos automatic lalabas itong L shape na to. Tama? So we can do we can start with siguro a box lang muna, and I'll just place it onto the side, no? So again, I like to orbit konti. Orbit ko lang para lang alam ko kung saan ako nagdo-drawing. I'll just place it here. I'll do a box. Tapos 1.45 yung ginamit natin, no? 1.45 by 1.45. Press enter. Pull it upwards by again 1.45. Now, this box right here, gusto ko kasing i-create yung step, no? So for me to create the step, I need to sort of bubutasan ko siya from this side. Dito sa right side view. Tama? So, do hidden again para lang mas malinaw. Gagawin ko is, I'll create a step here. Bubutasan ko siya dire-diretso pa ganyan. Tapos, makikita natin yung parang stairs niya. So, let's just draw a REC. Pwedeng rectangle lang, no? Tapos, let's do dynamic UCS. Select ko to para pwedeng dito ako nagdo-drawing, no? And I select the midpoint. Hover over the midpoint para matrack ko siya. Ito, hover lang para matrack. And I also hover from this midway point. Track ko siya. And automatic itatrack niya yung both lines, no? So that's a quick way of doing it. Pero kung ayaw nyo gawin itong method na to, pwede namang i-divide nyo lang. 1.45 divided by 2 is 0.725. So pwede 0.725 by 0.725 na rectangle. Another way to do it is, which is probably easier, is to enable geometric center. Tama? Kasi if we do enable geometric center, pwedeng REC, then hover over the perimeter, then dapat mahanap nyo yung geometric center of this one, which is hindi niya nahanap. Hindi niya nahanap. So feel ko yun na yung easiest way, yung ginawa ko kanina. Ang ginawa ko was, pwede rin pala two diagonals, no? Diagonals muna kayo ng ganyan. Then REC. Then connect to this point. Baka ito yung easiest way pala. 2 diagonals, then REC ganyan. Tapos delete nyo na lang yung lines afterwards. So now that you have this one, gawin nyo na lang is just to do press pull, no? If you do press pull here, tapos butasin nyo siya dire-diretso, papunta dun sa kabilang side, you create a sort of step. Okay? Itong polyline na to, let's just remove it. So you have this step, parang ganyan. Ang gagawin ko is from this side, create ako ng incline. Tama? Sa kabilang side ba yun? Sorry. Aling side? It's from the front. Mali pala. Tama. From the front view, no? So, gusto natin mag-create ng inclined plane dito. Pero kung dito tayo mag-create sa front view, ang problema is wala kang sort of plane na pagkakapitan sa line. So, mas better pag dun sa backside. Dito tayo titingin. So, ito. From here, dito tayo titingin sa backside, no? Parang pa ganyan. Tapos, it's located... Nasaan ba to located, no? Tingnan natin. Halfway ba siya? 1/3? It's 1/3, no? Tama, 1/3 siya. So, kung 1/3, kailangan lang natin mag-create ng line that is 1/3 of the way papunta dito sa bottom corner. So, gawa muna tayo ng line. Or, pwede naman i-measure natin yun mismo, no? Pero, feeling ko ang easiest way is we go into the backside. Nasaan na ba tayo? Ito, no? Go into the backside. Parang ganyan. Tapos, create tayo ng line dito sa taas. Let's just create a line from here to here. And I'm just using the line para pwede kong gamitin yung div command, no? Tapos, div command, select the line that we have just created. Press 3. And, para may marker tayo. Now, saan siya papunta? Kasi nandito yung, di ba? So, gusto natin from this point, papunta this sa corner na to. Tama? Kasi, dun sa original reference natin, nandito sa right side yung parang incline. Okay? So, gagawin natin is, I'll create a line from here with dynamic UCS on. Again, when you have dynamic UCS on, make sure you are hovering over the plane na kung saan kayo magdodrawing. The common mistake again is, yung students is parang masyadong mabilis yung galaw ng movement nila. Minsan, nag-hover over sila dito, sumobra sila, napunta sila dito, tapos nung kinlik nila to, nagtataka sila ba't hindi nila ma-point dito. It's because, na-lock na kayo sa plane na to. Okay? So, make sure na, pagka nag-AutoCAD kayo, no, parang hindi masyado mabilis yung mga mouse movements nyo. So, make it precise, no? So, ito. Hover over this plane. I'll point to this point. This node right here. Punta ako dun sa opposite end. Click. Press escape. Tapos, ito na siya. Ay, tama ba? Tama. Ito, bubutasin na natin to. So, we do press pull. Tapos, dire-diretso, butas tayo. Papunta doon sa kabilang side. Tama? Let's carve it out and we have produced the plane. Tapos pwede ko delete tong mga extra lines, no? And it's exactly how we imagined it, no? Dito sa natin. Parang drawing natin. Sa sketch natin. Ito siya. Okay? So try natin tingnan yung auxiliary view kung same ba. So naalala niyo kung paano? If you're in the UCS model, gawin lang natin is, let's do UCS, tapos F for face, face. Ipatong lang natin on top of the face, which is this one, accept. Tapos, click nyo lang yung top. If you click the top view, tapos rotate nyo siya, eto na yung auxiliary view when you're in the model space. Tama? Which is also the same answer as what we've got, no? But again, I don't recommend showing the auxiliary view using this method, no? Kasi ang mangyayari dyan is how do you present this to your instructor? Kailangan nyo i-screenshot, no? Parang ganyan, parang screenshot nyo siya. Pwede naman, pero kumbaga hindi siya elegant na solution. What's more elegant is using the layout tab. Tama? So let's do the layout tab. And siguro ang gawin ko para lang no, kasi yung yellow maganda siya tingnan dito sa model space pero medyo pangit siya dun sa it's in the given layer. Yung solid ilipat ko na lang sa, let me transfer this to the aux layer na kinreate ko. So the good thing about the aux layer is naka-blue kasi siya sa akin. So now if I go into layout, ito rin pala, lipat natin to aux. The good thing about this is if I go to layout, magiging blue na siya na automatic. So I'll go into layout 2. Tapin ko lang na nandito yung ko, no, yung next object ko. I'll just delete the initial na viewport na nandito. Show ko lang yung viewport. Ayan. Tapos, I'll go into the viewports layer. Tapos, same as before, create lang tayo ng rectangular layout ulit. Parang ganyan. Okay? Tapos, again, wait. Nasaan yung Dito tayo maglalagay, no? Tama? Let's try it with view. Kaya ba view base? Hindi ko pa na-try to. Wait lang ha. Let me just check. Select. Try ko lang. Hindi kasi ako super sure, no? Kung kaya ba siya using the view base. Okay. Can I create a sol view? Hindi kaya. Hindi niya tinitreat ang view base as a viewport, no? So mangyari, you can't create a sol view from a given view base, no? Totally different siya na object as compared to your viewport. So unfortunately, hindi natin magagamit yung view base or yung yung parang using inventor. So we'll have to do manual, no? So let's do a view base dito. Parang ganyan. And let's select world coordinate system muna tayo. Let's select the top view ba or front view muna, no? Tama ba? And I'll select this object. Okay? Ito yung front view, di ba? By the way, yung gumagamit ng Mac, ito actually yung one way for you to create the 3D, the multi-view, no? Kasi wala kasi kayong view base. And ito yung ginagamit nila para mag-create ng 3D view sa sa Mac. Kasi if you do view sol view, bukod sa ox view, merong ortho kasi. Ortho is essentially yung yung parang front view or right side view, basta yung orthographic views, no, yung perpendicular ng view na pinili nyo. So for example, if I do ortho, then specify the side of the object I want to place it here, kunwari. Wait. Specify side of viewport to project. Tama. Ito. Lang, specify side tayo. Ulitin ko nga. Solve view. Ito pala. Ulitin ko lang yan. Solve view, ortho, select ko to, tapos mukhang malayo dito. Press enter. Tapos viewport, same as before, no? Parang ganyan. So medyo mas matrabaho. Top view to, top. So tignan nyo, kaya mag-create ng 3D views, no? Pero again, sobrang matrabaho kasi magso-solve view ka, ortho, select this side for right side view. Then, kailangan nyo pa i-estimate kung saan siya mag-end. Parang ganyan. Ay, no, sorry. Press enter. Right side. Nagkamali ako. Anyway, hindi ko na kailangan to, no? Delete ko lang to. Okay, so I have two views. Tapos, ang gagawin ko is I want to create the auxiliary view. I do solve view, auxiliary. Again, mag-identify tayo ng yung plane, auxiliary plane natin, which is parallel to this incline right here. Tama? So, ang gawin natin is enable ulit natin yung endpoint para pwede tayo mag-select this point and this point. Again, pipili tayo ng this side to view it from. Okay? So again, yung side to view it from is kung saan yung line of sight nyo. Okay? I want to view it from this upper left portion. So, dito ko i-click. Tapos, select ko lang kung gaano kalayo. So, click nyo lang. I think this is good enough or layuan ko konti, no? Parang ganyan siguro. So, once I've selected that, press enter. Tapos, select ko lang yung viewport. Kasi if you notice right now, nasasali yung ibang elements, no? Gusto ko lang na ito yung masali. So, then, press escape. Then, exit out. And I have this one. Tapos, ang gawin natin is, this is all in the viewports layer. Para lang ma-remove yung, yung annoying na black boxes around the viewports. Go to layer properties, unhide, hide the viewports layer, and you have something that looks like this. And ito na yung natin, yung auxiliary view. And again, ang downside lang nito is hindi kita yung mga auxiliary lines, no? Okay? Right? So, that's how you create auxiliary views using 3D methods, no? Parang ganito. You have to recreate the object, tapos use solve view to generate itong natin, yung mga, essentially what we're doing is creating viewports na naka-orient siya in some manner, no? Pwede nyo actually manually gawin to. Pwede naman, if you want, you can create your own viewports, tapos manually i-rotate nyo siya such that makita yung yung inclined plane in its true size. The problem with that is hindi nyo siya magagawa in such a way na directly makaka-create kayo ng projection line. Kasi ito, kunwari ito, this one, layer. Kunwari ito, kung hindi nyo siya ginawa using the this method, hindi nyo magagawa itong line na to. This projection line is directly related to or directly aligned with the projected na auxiliary view. Parang ganyan. So that's the good thing about using solve view, no? Kasi if I just did a random rectangle lang, no, na viewport, pwedeng misalign siya. So something like if I didn't do it this way, pwede ang makikreate ko is something like nakaganito, no? Pwedeng nakaganyan. Na this is oriented, let's say nag-random lang ako, pwedeng nakaganito yung view ko, which is no longer correct, no? Kasi if I try to do a projection line, kunwari ito, projection line ito, hindi na siya nagmamatch dito. Kasi ang projection line niya is perpendicular dito sa line na to, no? Parang ganyan. Dapat kasi nakaganyan siya. Okay? So that's a mistake if you didn't do the solve view correctly, no? Right? So, pero wag kayong masyadong ma-concern dito sa yung 3D method, because the 3D method hindi siya kailangan sa plate. Ang kailangan lang sa plate is actually the 2D method, no? Ang maganda lang sa 3D method is that it can serve as a guide, no, para maikot nyo around yung object. And I can show you dito sa third example natin. Pwedeng ang gawin natin is, in the third example, gagamitin natin siya para yung 3D mismo is a tool para that can help us, and siguro I can create it in another, I'll just do another another file. Let's do attach, tapos page 3 siguro. Yeah, let's do page 3. Sorry, ribbon, ay control 0, insert, attach, auxiliary view. I'll do page 3 nga ba? Tama, ito page 3, no? Ito siya. Dalawa ba to? So itong object na to. So this one is actually a difficult na problem, no? But it can be made easier if you do the 3D model first. Okay? So ito kasi, this is an oblique plane. Itong plane A, no? When it's an oblique plane, you know it's an oblique plane because plane A is shown in FRP and HRP. In FRP and PRP. So, ano implication nun? It means that wala kang edge view dito sa plane na to. Tama? Since wala kang edge view, di ba pagka inclined plane, there should be at least one edge views. Tapos pag normal, you should have one edge view. So, itong oblique plane na to, it has 0 edge views. So, meaning, we can't get the true size simply by doing one additional view. Nag-agree ba kayo doon? Kasi it's an oblique, no? Kailangan muna natin dumaan sa edge view before we can proceed to the true size. Kasi to show the true size, we need plane parallel to the edge view. So ito, unlike the first two examples, hindi natin kaya siya gawin recta after one view. Kailangan natin ng one additional view. Okay? So to aid us in doing this example, ang gagawin natin is, let's try to recreate the object first. Okay? So this is a simple object kasi if you look at it, and I'll just get the measurements no, para let's do a measurement. Recreate pala natin muna. So again, because this is a raster image, baka kasi pangit yung magiging recreation, yung pangit yung magiging snapping niya kapag mali yung natin, kung hindi accurate. So, because this is a simple image, we can just recreate it. I'll just say given, tapos, I'll just make it yellow. So, let's recreate. This is just a rectangle. Oh, sorry, mali. Select given layer. REC. And it's around 0.67. Let's just say 0.67, no? So 0.67 by 0.67. Okay? Wait. Sorry, hindi pala 0.67. 1.26. Okay lang siguro na 1.26. So let's do 1.26 by 1.26. Okay? Tapos may line tayo across the diagonal. So ito, let's just copy this one. Or better yet, it's easier done if we create a line here, a vertical line. Tapos ang gawin natin, let's mirror it, no? So itong objects na to, we just mirror it. Kasi if you notice, it's just a mirrored image, no? So we do mirror, then select the reference plane as the mirror line. And easily makakreate na natin itong. Do we want to erase? No, we don't want to erase. Ito, madali lang. No? So, it's quite easy to reproduce this image. Tapos ito, gawin natin. Let's select this one. And para lang mas malinis, let's just move it off to the side. No? So, ito siya. Hindi ko na ilalagay siguro yung HRP, FRP. No? Okay? So, again, ang sabi ko, it's easier done if we create the 3D object first. So, ano ba itsura ng 3D object na to? Just by looking at the given, medyo madali lang to, no? Kasi it's just a cube. It's a cube na parang slice off mo yung main diagonal niya. Okay? Nag-crystallography na ba kayo? Di ba? Sa mga Met-E or mining. Familiar with crystallography? Parang ano siya, cube siya na kinut off mo yung 111 plane. Okay, familiar kayo sa 111 plane. Okay, so parang dito, you just take a line here and a line here. Probably, okay, tayo a line here. Puputulin lang natin yan. So ganito yung itsura ng 3D object na, no? Medyo madali lang siya. Right? So let's try to recreate this one. Again, 3D natin siya. Ikot ko lang konti para lang mas madali. Ano yung pinili nating size? It was 1.26 ba sabi ko? Tama no? 1.26. 1.26 by 1.26. Tapos, ang height niya is also 1.26. What's the easiest way to slice this? We just do a slice, no? Let's do hidden. Easiest way to do this, kasi if you look at the image, again, parang ano lang siya. Puputulin lang natin if I create a line here, no? Parang ganito kasi siya eh. Parang ganyan, di ba? Parang isa-slice off lang natin tong part na to. So, the easiest command, hindi ko alam kung naturo ko sa inyo, yung slice command. Slice command is when meron tayong main object, gusto natin siya i-slice along a slicing plane. And the slicing plane can be defined by 3 points. Tama? What are the 3 points we can define here? Ito lang. Itong corners to. This point, and this point. That will define the slicing plane. Okay? So, we do slice. Select the object that we want to slice, which is this object. Press enter. Select the slicing plane. So, ang gagawin lang natin is, select lang natin itong 3 points na to. Itong point na to, and point na to. Tama? Because that's the slicing plane. So, 1, 2, and 3. Okay? And we have effectively sliced this object. Slicing plane is not interesting. Wait lang ha. Ulitin ko lang. Slice. I want to keep mali ata yung pinili ko. Mali yung nasa-select niya. Sorry. Let me do that again, no? And make sure na tama yung sinelect ko na point. So again, I'll do slice. Select the object, which is this object. The first point is, let me make sure na tama yung point. Ito. Second point is this one. Third point is this one. Bakit yan yung pinipili niya? Wait lang feeling ko nagkakamali ako. Ulit. Slice. Select object. Let's do 3 points. Okay. Just to show you, I'll keep both sides with B. Both sides. Tapos ito. Nakikita nyo na 2 separate objects na sila. So, just to show you, ito, select ko lang to. I'll move it around. Makikita nyo na parang ganyan siya. So, again, it's just a cube na sinlice off ko tong part na to. Para maging ganyan siya. Okay? Again, the relevant command is slice. Okay? So, if you have this one, ito na yung object natin. Ang gusto natin mangyari kasi is, we start off with the front view, parang ganito. And just to give you an illustration kung ano yung gusto natin, no? Ito yung front view na to. Gusto natin first, ipakita yung edge view. Parang ganyan. So, to find the edge view, the only true length here is ito actually, no? Tama? Ito. If you're looking at it from the front, so, Balikan lang natin yung object, no? Ito siya. Paano natin mahanap yung, ano yung true length dito? It's this diagonal. This is a true length. Tama? Kasi this is, this diagonal right here is this line. And it's parallel to this one, which makes this as a true length. Tama? And on to the other side, this is also a true length. So this is a true length. Sulat ko na lang. Wait lang ah. Okay? Sulat ko lang true length ito. True length. This is a true length. And this is also a true length. So we can actually go either way, no? So pwedeng dito tayo gumawa ng point view para maging edge view itong plane na to, or punta tayo dito sa side na to to get the edge view of the oblique plane. Okay? So in 3D terms, parang ang gusto nating mangyari is this is our 3D object. Gusto natin tingnan siya from this angle such that edge view siya. Parang ganyan. We want to look at it from this angle. Tapos, pagka nandito na tayo sa angle na to, gusto naman natin tingnan parallel to this one para makita yung true size nitong plane na to. Parang ganun yung rotation na gusto natin mangyari. Okay? So, how do we do that? Gawin natin is, again, we can choose either way, no? We can go to the right side or we can go to the left side. Let's just choose the left side muna. Let's extend this line. Like so. Create tayo ng perpendicular reference plane. Itong perpendicular reference plane na to, this perpendicular reference plane is your ARP1. Tama? And let's just label it ARP1. We do here. Okay na yung height, yung text natin na set ko na kanina, pero if you haven't set it first, pwede nyo man you go like this, perpendicular, para ma-set nyo yung height nya, no? Pero I've set it, so okay na ako. 0.1163 yung ginamit ko. Enter, tapos parallel to this one, para pwede ako mag-type ng ARP1. Tapos sa baba, ano to nandito? FRP yata to, no? This is FRP. Mamamatay na ba yung laptop ko? Wait lang ha. Okay pa naman. Okay? So, ito yung ano natin. So, this becomes a point view. And dapat itong oblique plane becomes an edge view. So, again, with any auxiliary view na exercise, no, it's always more convenient kung ang gagawin nyo is hahanapin muna yung oblique plane. Yun yung tip ko sa inyo parate. Okay? So, eto, gawin muna natin tong oblique plane na to. Okay? So, this point here is this point. So, copy lang natin yung circle na to. So, ito yung parang compass natin. Now, this point is this point. Tama? So, pwedeng take natin yung perpendicular distance. Copy it. So, ito siya. And actually, pwede ko i-trim tong this way, no? Pwede pa ganyan ko siya i-trim. Kasi alam ko, ito yung line na to. Now, I know that this point, since parallel nga siya, yung point actually na to, naka-point view na to. Tama? So, sige. Para lang mas ma-imagine nyo, I can label this as 1, 0.1, 0.2, and this is 0.3. Tapos ito naman, this is 0.3, 0.2, and C, 0.1. Tama? Ano, sorry. This is 0.1. Mali. This is 0.1. Ito si 0.2. Okay? So, in the front In the front view, ang true length is 1.3. In the right side view, it's 2.3 yung true length. So, gawin natin. So, dito, naka-point view ngayon dahil true length itong si 1.3 and ginawa natin such that si ARP is perpendicular to the true length. This now becomes naka-point view si 1.3. Tama? And let's make it more complete. Gawin natin 1.3 is in its point view. Tama? Kasi ito naman, point 2 is located here. Okay? So that's our oblique plane. And to be more accurate, gawin natin edge view to, no? Edge view. Okay? So again, ang imagination natin is, iniikot natin siya such that etong si 1.3 na to, which is this line, this is 1.3, no? Tinitingnan natin siya such that naka-point view siya ng ganyan. So, pag ganyan siya. So, essentially, hindi to perfect, no? Pero parang ganyan yung makikita natin dapat. Something like this. Tama? Kasi naka-point view si 1.3 dito. Tama? So, we should expect something that looks like this doon sa ano natin. First auxiliary reference plane. Okay? So, ito, let's just find this point right here. So, ito si 2. Hanapin natin to. Itong point na to. Okay? So, this point, let's do a perpendicular reference plane. Ito siya, itong line na to, or sorry, itong point na to is nandito sa point na to. Tama? So, we can copy this distance. Lipat natin dito, and we can just trim it off, no? So, ayan siya. Pwede nyo, kung nalilito kayo, you can always label the points, no? Kunwari, pwede nyo naman i-label lahat. So, kunwari, ito 1, 2, 3, and you can label this as 4. So, ito is 1, 3, tapos 4 dun sa likod, no? So, 3, 4 tong point na to. Pwede naman ganyan. That's a methodical way of doing it, no? And, some students do that, no? May mga ibang students na yun yung method kasi minsan nalilito talaga sila when they are rotating objects in space. Ang methodology nila is just label all the points. Tapos i-project nyo as if there were just lines and points in space. Okay? Pero if you're confident with your 3D imagination, pwedeng hindi nyo na i-label, no? Ito, alam ko is at this point. So, measure ko na lang directly. And I can connect this one and this one. Okay? Next is, let's try to find yung point na... Wait lang, hanapin natin yung point na to. Tama? Wait lang, dito na rin ako. Tama, sige. So, yung point na to is in this projection line, no? Actually, nandito lang din siya. So, okay lang yun. Hindi na natin kailangan hanapin yun. Next natin kailangan hanapin is this one. Yung nasa likod niya, no? Kumbaga, how do I put it? Yung etong point na to. Yung nasa likod, eto. This one. Bakit nasa gitna yung yung 2 dito? Ay, oo nga. Sorry. Ay, yes, that's correct, no? Hindi to 2, tama. So, dapat, nandito siya. Tama. Kaya pala nalilito ako. It should be here, no? So, ito, correct naman na yung ano nito, distance. So, I'll just do a parallel line. So, dapat nandyan siya. Okay? So, ito, lipat lang natin. Okay, this makes a lot more sense, no? So, nandito dapat si 2. Thank you for the correction. So, ito si edge view ng ganyan. delete ko muna to, pero eventually i-draw ko rin naman yung line na to again, no? Since I'm viewing it from, again, I'm looking at the sort of, eto, iniikot ko kasi siya papunta dun sa kabilang side, no? So if I use this box, parang kung ito yung front view ko, iniikot ko kasi siya in such a way na pag ganyan yung ikot ko, no? Or wait, sorry. I select this. Iniikot ko siya in such a way na magiging point view siya ng ganyan. Parang ganyan. So makikita ko dapat itong normal na nakadikit sa top plane and itong normal na nakadikit sa left side view. Okay? So mangyayari dyan is I need to find itong parang rectangle na naka-edge view at this area. Tama? And to find that, kailangan ko lang malaman kung gaano siya kalayo from point 1. Okay? And this is point 1, no? And we know that the farthest extent is ito. Ito siya. Similar logic na ginawa natin kanina na parang ang kinuha natin is yung parang farthest bound. So, ibig sabihin, if I take the distance here, ito, and I move it onto this side, ito actually, from here to here, and let's complete that. Ito. Ayan. Yan actually yung rectangle as seen from the left side view. Kumbaga, if we look at it from the 3D, ito yung tinitingnan natin. This one. This rectangle right here. Right? So, ito siya. Yun yung nakikita natin dito ngayon. Etong rectangle na to. So, this is the left side na rectangle na nakadikit sa left side na glass box. Okay? Now, yung nakadikit dun sa taas, doon nakadikit sa taas na yung top plane, can be found by just connecting this point and this point. Okay? So, dapat pala hindi ko... Sige. Ulitin ko lang, para lang may imagine nyo. Ulitin ko lang to. Okay. Ano to? 1.26 ba sabi ko? It's 1.26. Tapos, slice natin to. Select this object. Let's do 3 points. This, and this. Tapos, let's keep both sides. So, ito siya. Press mo lang B. Or pwede i-click din yung chip. So, pwedeng, di ba, ito? Slice, itong object, select the, slice the object, select 3 for 3 points. Tapos ito, 1, 2, 3. Tapos may chip siya na ito, keep both sides. Pero yung naka-capital letter kasi is B. So, meaning yun yung shortcut niya. So, we do B. So, ito siya. So, para lang mas ma-imagine nyo, no? Gusto ko kasing makita nyo dito. So, delete ko lang to. So, ang ginawa kasi natin, di ba, inikot natin siya in such a way na point view tong isa. Parang ganyan siya. So, notice how ito, para siyang yung portion na kinut off natin. So, it was here before. Parang ganyan siya. Tapos, nung sinlice off natin siya, nawala na siya. Okay? So, parang ganun yung nangyayari dito sa ARP1 natin. It's a cube kanina, pero dahil sinlice off natin siya, parang ang natira na lang is a sort of rectangle or triangle dito, tapos another rectangle dito sa bottom side. So, this is actually the completed ARP na to. ARP1. Right? So, ito, hindi pa siya tapos kasi, let me just remove the projection lines para mas malinis. Hindi pa tapos kasi what we're shown here is still the edge view of the oblique plane. Pero ang kailangan kasi natin is the true length of the, or sorry, true size of the oblique plane. So we need to create another reference plane. So what's the reference plane that we need to do para ma-expose yung true size? Parallel to the edge view. So gawin natin is, let's create a parallel to the edge view. And let's just label this as ARP2, no? So let's do text. Tapos parallel dito. Ay, wait. Text. Okay na yung height. Specify natin yung rotation pag ganyan. And let's do ARP2 tapos ARP1 sa left side. So, something like this. And probably, let's just make it a little neater, no? Extend ko lang siya. Tapos lipat ko tong dalawang to. Dito. Okay. Now, let's create our projection lines. Ito. Let's do the oblique plane first. So, itong point 2. Tapos, let's do the projection line for point 3. And, pag na-track siya. Okay. Point 1, 3, I mean. Okay? So, point 2 is this distance. Again, ito, this is ARP2. So, 2 views away is 1, 2. So, sa FRP tayo. Measure tayo. And, this can get a little bit confusing, no? Especially this one kasi overlapping na yung views natin. Pero just don't get confused. Ito si point 2. Ang fold line niya is this one. Si ARP1 and FRP. Okay? So, measure ko yung distance. Point 2. Just trim it. Tapos, yung distance ni 1 is this distance right here. So, measure natin siya. This is distance of 1. I'll just trim it onto the left side, no, para this is the starting point. Tapos, iti-trim ko na lang yung end point niya. Okay? So, distance of 3 is this one. So, measure natin. And this is, let's trim it onto the other side. Para yung maiiwan is actually the true size, no? Sorry, the true length of 1, 3. Okay? So, I can now, and this is your plane 1, 2, 3 shown in its true size. Tama? Now, all we need to do is to just finish up, and medyo linisin ko lang, no? Bawasan ko lang yung length ng ARP fold lines ko. Parang ganyan. So, ang need na lang natin is to find the kung nasaan itong other points natin. Okay? And for this case, we can always go back to our cube, no? Or yung parang 3D version natin. Again, we are trying to find, di ba, nanggaling tayo dito. Galing tayo dito. Tapos gumawa tayo ng edge view. The edge view will be showing the true size, something like this. So, ang important sa atin dito is to find etong point na to, yun nandito, yung point na to, at yung point na to. Yun yung kailangan natin mahanap. If we can find those 3 points, mabubuo na natin yung auxiliary reference, auxiliary view natin, showing the true size. Okay? So, how do we find that? Hanapin lang natin etong mga points na to. No? So, this one right here. Ganyan. And this distance right here is siya yung nandito, no? Kasi di ba edge view siya dito? Yung parang left side na rectangle na to. It's nakadikit siya dun sa left side ng glass box natin. So actually, itong distance na to is the same distance as this one. So nandito siya. So, pwede actually natin i-connect na to. So, ganyan. Okay? So, that's the first rectangle, no? Or sorry, first triangle. Now, you can do the same. Try to find, ito na point na to is actually yung magiging point na nandito, no? Tapos yung point dito will be yung other side naman ito, yung nasa likod ng point na to. Pero since you know that this is a regular shape and you know that um, um, when you rotate it around, ang magiging mangyayari is it will become regularly spaced atong distance na to. This distance right here, atong from this point to this point, it's regular distance siya. Pwede actually natin i-copy lang yung mga distances na to. So we can just copy this distance papunta dito, pag ganyan, and we can copy this distance papunta din dito. That will also work. And we know that because it's a regular shape, no? So if you don't want to project the necessary lines, pwede naman gawin natin is let's just create a circle like this. Parang ganyan. Tapos, we create another circle doon sa kabilang side. So, this is a bit of geometric construction, no? Parang ganyan. Where they meet, pwede natin siyang i-connect like so. Okay? So, that's the easiest way to do this. Again, this is because of the knowledge that I know that this is now, this is a regular shape kasi. Okay? Pero again, if you're not confident na regular shape siya and gusto nyo siyang you can always do projection, no? So, kunwari, ito, I can always project this. Wait lang, Let's extend this. I can always project this. Parang ganyan. And yung location na to is this point right here. Tama? Ito yung copy ko yung distances. So, ito siya. I still find the same point, no? It's still the same point. Okay? So, it's a matter of preference kung paano niyo siya gustong i-think about it. Pero again, if you want to simplify, let's take advantage of, yung knowledge natin of what the shape is. So, alam ko kasi regular shape to. So, whatever this side here is, same lang siya sa side dito. And I also know na same din siya sa side dito. Tama? So, what I can do is, again, I can do the same technique, no? Parang create a circle. Pwede ding arc, no, if you want. Pwedeng arc. If you want to be cleaner, pwedeng arc na ganyan. And using this same arc, create tayo ng another arc. A for arc, C for center, ito. Tapos, from here, pwedeng ganyan, no? Pero circles are easier to do, no? So, kaya, hindi ko masyadong ginagamit yung arcs. Okay? So, ito, delete natin. So, yan siya. So, this is now our auxiliary view. Pero hindi pa ito tapos kasi anong kulang dito? Complete na ba siya? Kulang pa, no? Kulang siya ng hidden lines. Tama? Tama. So, ang kulang na hidden lines is yung kumbaga yung backside ng cube. Kumbaga, if I look at this one, ang kulang na hidden lines is ito. Itong bumubuo ng, and let me do x-ray. Itong backside na to, 1, 2, 3. Tama? Kasi if I view it from here, dapat kita to. 1, 2, 3. Tama? Yun dapat yung kita eh. So, dapat from the top view, this one, dapat kita yung 3 lines na yon. So, pwede kong tingnan dito, no? So, minsan, nalilito yung mga students kasi, kumbaga, if you think about yung sinabi ko kanina na regular siya, one way you can do it is, pwedeng, if I do a circle, no? Ulit. Kung saan sila nag-meet, yan actually yung center point. So, I can do something like ganyan. So, pwedeng ganyan. Pero when you're viewing it from the normal view, parang ganito, minsan nalilito yung mga students kasi bakit siya, minsan hindi nila na-imagine to, no? I'll make it a, change ko lang yung line style niya. Line type, I mean. Load tayo ng hidden ulit, JIS. I think 0.1 ito. Tapos, piliin natin itong 3 lines na to. Let's change the properties. Control 1. Gawin natin line type is JS. Gawin natin 0.01. Parang okay naman. 1 lang to. Mukha siyang baliktad, no? Kasi kung titingnan mo siya this way, pero para lang mas ma-view nyo, pwede nyo iikot siya ng ganyan. Kasi ito actually yung position kasi niya eh. Ito yung nasa harap. Ito yung kumbaga nasa front view na plane. Tapos ito yung nasa right side view. Ito yung nasa top view. Common mistake is naka-rotate yung Common mistake na nangyayari is naka-rotate siya ng ganyan. Rotate by 60 yata. 60. Parang ganyan. This is a mistake, no? Or naka-rotate yata lang 30. Let's try 30. Wait lang Rotate. 60 nga. So this is a mistake, no? Tama? It might look correct pag nakaganyan ka kasi isipin mo na ito yung nasa likod. Tama, no? Pero ang mistake doon is thinking that this is the front view. This one right here. Nandito ang front view. Pero wala dyan ang front view, no? Ang front view kasi is nandito yung front view actually. Dito. Itong plane na to. Kasi, dapat tingnan siya na nakaganyan. This is the correct orientation. Dito si front view. Dito si right side view. Dito si top view. So, meaning, etong lines na to, if you look at the back side na lines, no, yung nagbubuo ng niya, yung kumbaga skeleton sa likod, should be yung nakaganyan. Dapat ganyan siya. Again, very common mistake yun, no? Parang, lalo na pag nagmamadali na yung mga students, hindi nila naiisip masyado. But again, you can always go back to your 3D render. Para ito. Try nyo lang siyang iikot. Look at it from this view. Makikita nyo, okay, kapag nandito yung oblique ko, shown in its true size, yung likod na hidden line should be this 3 lines right here. Ito, 1, 2, 3. Okay? And ito na yung final answer natin. Alright? So, for the plate, most likely ganito yung magiging workflow nyo. Gagawin nyo is you use the 3D as a sort of guide lang para alam nyo kung paano siya umiikot in space. Tapos, from this guide, tsaka kayo gagawa ng 2D view. Kasi if you look at the plate, I'll show you the plate. So, i-upload ko din naman to. The plate looks like this. Huwag yung answer key. Mutik pa. So, this is the plate, no? And we want to show itong true size nito. So, ito, you'll have to do this in 2 views. 2 additional views to. So, strategy dito is to first do edge view, then after edge view, you do the this is a hard plate, no? Medyo mahirap tong isundan kasi dahil dito sa sa parang irregular shape na na to, oblique plane na to, si ABCDE. Okay? Pero kaya to. This is easy. Kaya nyo siyang magawa, no? Ang lang is, para magawa nyo siya, feeling ko better if you recreate the solid first so that you can rotate it in space, no? Para alam nyo yung expected na sagot per rotation, per ARP1, kumbaga. Similar to how we did it here, no? Sorry. Similar to how we did it here. Parang ginawa natin is from the front view. So, let's look at the front view, no? From the front view, ang ginawa natin, this is the front view. Tapos, umikot tayo ng Pag ganon. Para maging point view ito. We saw the view that it looked like this. Ito, I'm just estimating, no? Parang ganyan. Tapos, after natin nakuha to, inikot natin siya in such a way na makita natin yung top view niya. Which is, nakaganyan siya. Oh, sorry, the true size. Which is, naging ganito siya. So, 2 rotations yung ginawa natin. ARP1 was this rotation. This is ARP1. ARP2 is this rotation. Parang inikot natin siya ng ganyan. Yan. Okay? So, parang ganito, no? So, again, in 2D, ganun nangyari. So, essentially, ARP is just showing you the rotations, no? You rotate it ARP1 here. Then, again, you rotate it ARP2 here. Which shows you the final answer. Okay? So, hopefully, that makes sense. No? Again, in the past, etong auxiliary view, dito yung lowest score lagi. Parang, during the exams, ito yung pinakamahirap na portion. Sa'yo ba, Jodine? Madali lang sa'yo to. Nag-drawing, manual yun sa inyo, no? O, yun. Yung sa time din namin, nalala ko bagsak ako. Bagsak ako dito sa auxiliary. Medyo mahirap kasi siya, no? Bukod sa, feeling ko ang pinakamahirap na part sa auxiliary is because you need to draw the hidden lines as well. Yun yung feeling ko pinakamahirap na part. Kasi bukod sa oblique plane, kailangan nyo pang isipin yung hidden lines, no? So, I feel like yun yung nagpapahirap sa kanya. Pero other than that, kaya naman. And it's a fun exercise, no? Especially when you see the object rotated around in space. Pag nakikita nyo na parang umiikot siya in space, parang sobrang satisfying. Hindi ba kayo na-satisfy dito na umikot siya? Wait lang, delete ko lang yung ano. Yan. Na-imagine nyo to, yung ikot na to, no? Tama? Especially this one. Ito yung pinaka madali na ma-imagine. Parang makikita mo na, okay, gets ko paano siya umikot. Okay? We have one last exercise. Ito, mabilisan ko lang siyang gagawin. Try nyo sundan kung kaya nyong sundan. Pero, if not, then just review the recording. No? I'll be sending the recording. So, let's do another... I'll separate... I'll also send the DWG file para pwede nyong i-review din yung DWG file. Pero, again, suggestion ko, dito kasi sa AutoCAD, it's always best to learn by doing it yourself, no? So, hindi enough na nanonood lang kayo. So, I highly suggest na in your own time, in your own devices, i-read nyo yung work. Okay? So, try natin, attach natin ulit. Auxiliary view, last page na tayo, no? This one. Okay? Ito. It's a 3D object. Gawin natin is recreate natin, and thankfully, itong object na to is I'll just follow the object para same scale sila, no? It's 1.29. I think 1.3 would be good, no? Ito. Gawin na natin 1.3. So, rekta na ba tayo? Sige, i-recreate muna natin. Again, gawa lang ako bagong layer, no? I'll just say given. Para lang ma-recreate yung given. Okay, ito. Rectangle lang siya. That is, sorry. Change tayo sa given layer. I'll do REC. Tapos 1.3 by 1.3. Tama? Tapos ito, midway point lang, no? Naka-on ba yung midway point ko? Sana naka-on. Naka-on naman. So, I can do, pwede actually yung REC ulit. REC. Tapos midway point. Track ko lang yung midway point dito. Track ko din yung midway point dito to get the intersection. And, it's as simple as this one connects to the corner. This one connects to the midway point. Okay? So, that's the first one. Tapos, I'll just, i-track ko lang to or create projection lines. Tapos, I'll do REC again ito estimate ko lang somewhere. Ito, hindi naman nagmamatter no kung saan talaga siya nag-end, kung accurate or not. Kasi, when you move from the distance from your object to the reference plane, ang na-affect lang naman is the kumbaga yung kasunod na ano no, na view. So, hindi masyadong nakaka-affect to. So, let's do 1.3 by 1.3 again. Tapos ito madali lang yung this side kasi nasa ano lang siya no, midway point lang siya. Okay, let's do trim lang natin to. And lastly, ito again, just to make it accurate no. Yan. Ito, copy ko na lang distance na to. Wala pa palang line dito. I'll just create the lines. Tapos, distance, this one, copy ko lang. Tapos, REC 1.3 by 1.3. Trim. Ito, pwede ko na i-trim. Ito naman, midway point. Sobrahan ko lang konti. Then this point, papunta sa midway point. Track ko lang yung midway point. Like so. Tapos kung saan siya tumama dyan, pwede siya. Trim ko na lang. And ito naman, connect lang sa midway point. So, I think, kompleto na siya. Move ko lang to off to the side. By using M command. M. So, ito na siya. Recreated. Nandito na siya. Okay. Ito yung oblique plane no na gusto natin ipakita. This oblique plane right here is this plane right here, which is also this plane right here. I think mas madali kung i-drawing ko muna sa board kung ano yung tingin ko yung itsura niya. Yan, because this is a cube, medyo madali lang i-imagine no. Mabilisan lang, sketch lang natin. I think yung parang boot, i-drawing natin siya. So, ganyan. Yung nakadikit sa right side view. Yung nakadikit sa front view is this one. Tama? Yung nakadikit sa top view is this one. Itong parang ano. Okay? So, ganyan siguro. And if you follow the lines, parang mangyayari is you'll have something like okay? Nag-agree ba kayo? Ganito yung tsura? So, I don't know, once you practiced it long enough, parang cutting lines lang, basta mabuo lang yung a few lines, parang madali na lang hulaan kung saan mapupunta yung ibang lines. No? So, it's a skill that needs practice. So, I've been doing ES1 for a long time na. No? So, medyo gamay ko na, pagka nahanap ko tong plane na to, parang alam ko na kung saan yung mga surrounding planes malolocate para mabuo yung solid object. Parang ganito siya. Tama naman, no? If you look from the top, triangle, square, yung quadrilateral, yung oblique, tapos review. So, medyo tama naman. Okay? So, try natin buuin siya in AutoCAD, in 3D muna. So, wait lang ikot ko lang yung proper. So, let's do a box. Ano nga ulit yung sinabi kong distance? 1.3? 3? Anong ginamit natin? Wait lang. Circle na lang. 1.3 nga. Let's do box. Tapos, create natin yung box na to. Anong easiest way? Dalawang curve, no? Pwede natin i-carve out dito muna. Diretso carve lang natin to. Pag ganyan. Tapos carve natin to from the top, pag ganyan. Tapos yung remainder, i-slice na lang natin. Parang yun yung easiest way. Ito, carve muna natin ito, press pull lang, pag ganyan. Tapos ito naman, from the top, press pull natin pababa. Tapos yung remainder, slice na lang ata. I think, yun yung ano. Best way to do it. So, we do hidden. So, let's do a line. Tapos, make sure dynamic UCS is on. Dito tayo. From midpoint to midpoint. Na ganyan. So, let's carve this out. Press pull lang natin to. Dire-diretso lang. Carve it out like so. So, yan yung first part. Next part is ito yung dapat hindi natin pinrest. Feeling ko, wag muna natin i-press pull ng todo. Pwede natin i-press pull kalahati lang. Halfway through. Parang ganyan. Para pwedeng gawin natin yung triangle. Pwede nating i-create yung triangle dito, which is a line from here. Again, hover over the area. Papunta sa midpoint para pwede nating i-press pull ito pababa. Tama? Ganyan. Tapos, pwede na siguro tayo mag-slice. No? If I slice it from here, may matatamaan. Ito. Sige, okay. Wait lang Let me do, press pull lang natin to. Diretso pa ganyan. And let's delete this line. So, ito siya. Ang kulang na lang is, and let me just draw the lines first, no? Ito, papunta sa this one. And papunta dito. And let's connect this one. So, ito siya. Gusto kasi natin i-cut out itong portion na to. The problem is, pag nag-slice kasi tayo, masa-slice off din natin to. Which is, I think, okay lang kasi pwede tayo mag-keep both sides tas union na lang afterwards. Nagigets nyo ba yung sinasabi ko? Feel ko magigets nyo yung sinasabi ko. So, we can do slice this object. Let's do 3-point slice. So, first point natin is this point. Second point is this point. Third point is this one. And let's do keep both sides. So, mangyayari is, we have two objects, no? Parang ganyan. Kaso, dapat two objects to. Sana separate to, no? Kasi pwede sanang i-union natin yung yung bottom side, tapos ito lang yung slice natin. Na mukhang mali yung strategy natin, no? What's the easiest way to do this? Pwede press pull. Hindi, okay lang siguro. Let's slice this, tapos buuin na lang natin yung remainder. Okay, loft na lang natin. Pwede sigurong, what we can do is, let's just do a polyline, no? Ito, polyline. Close natin. Tapos ito, slice lang natin. Tapos, let's just do a loft, no? From here to here. Let's do loft or region pala. Region, REG. Select this one. That's a region. Then loft na lang. Pwede natin i-loft to. I can do loft from here to this edge. Wala pa palang edge dito. Sige, lalagdag muna akong lines dito. This line, and this line. So we can do loft from this line to this line. Tapos piliin natin yung line. Tapos ito na lang, no? Kailangan natin i-complete. We can do, kaya ko ba mag-drawing ng line dito? Line from here to here. Siguro yan. Okay lang yan, may extension konti. Kasi pag nag-loft naman tayo, makakover naman yan. No? So, we do the line and this other line right here. Press enter. Okay? So, okay lang yan. May extra kasi pagka nag-surf sculpt tayo, that should be a watertight container, no? Yan. So, okay na. So, let's just remove the lines. And that's our object, no? Same naman sa na-imagine natin. That's our object. Ito siya. Tapos, try natin imagine kung ano yung rotation, no? So, first one is, when we're looking here, ano yung meron tayong available na true lengths? We have true lengths here. Tama? Wait. May true length tayo dito kasi this one and this one is a true length, no? Kasi ito yung line and it's parallel to this reference plane. Meron din tayong true length dito. Tama? Kasi this line and this line is parallel to this reference plane. So, pwede either way. We can go this route. Dito tayo gagawa ng point view. And yung other route is dito tayo gagawa ng point view. Dito sa side na to. Both will give us the same answer, pero ano bang mas malaki yung space? Dito yata, no? Kasi if I do it this way, papunta dito yung first na view, then the second view would be somewhere here. So parang ang mangyayari is, it's either, if we take a look at the reference, no? So we start with the front view, top view kunwari. Ito yung top view. Mangyayari is, pupunta tayo sa view na naka-edge view to. So we're looking at it from, let me orbit. We're looking at it from this side, no? Parang pa ganyan. Parang nakaganyan. Pwede natin tingnan siya from this side or from this side na naka-point view siya. Naka-point view yung two lines. So, ano yung less confusing? This point or this point? Ito siguro, either way, we will, either way it will be confusing. So, regardless kung anong pinili natin, if we choose the top side, kung dito tayo pipili from the top view, kung sa top view tayo gagawa, tas ipo-point view natin tong lines na to, ipo-point view natin tong line na to, we'll be doing something like, pag ganyan, no? Ganyan yung makikita natin. This is the view that we are expecting. Para nakaganyan siya. Now, if we do the opposite, which we go, if we go from the right side view, so kung baga dito tayo magagaling, ang mangyayari is, ito yung matitial natin, which is, actually, the same lang, no? Sorry. Pag sa top view tayo, ang matitial natin is this one. Pagka sa right side view, ang ititial natin is this one. Okay? Na-imagine nyo ba? So again, ito kasi, ang ipo-point view natin is kapag nasa right side view, ganito yung expected natin na result, na rotation. Kapag naman ang ginawa natin is from the top view, ang expected rotation is something like this. Okay? I think this is simpler, no? Parang feeling ko this is easier to imagine. Kasi ito parang may konting optical illusion pagka ito yung in-imagine natin. This is much simpler. Kasi parang two shapes lang dapat ang expected natin. Ito parang boot shape and itong rectangle na to. So, I think we should go from the top side. Top view tayo. So, ito yung ititl natin. Ito yung point view natin. Itong TL na to. Okay? So, to do that, we do, may 15 minutes tayo. Feel ko kaya to. Speed run natin siya, no? Okay? Ito, parallel. Then, let's do, let's do a perpendicular reference plane. Tama? Ito naman, parallel to this one. Yung makita muna na. Okay? Tapos, a good trick to doing this class, no, yung mga, especially yung mga box shape na, no, is try to imagine first the glass box. Parang yung glass box muna yung ikot nyo. And just to give you a better, let's do a box. Box. 1.3 by 1.3 by 1.3. Now, if you look at it from the top view, gagawa kayo ng view, actually, yung makikita nyo is parang ganito lang. This is the glass box, no? Parang ganyan siya. So, 2 rectangles lang dapat makikita nyo. It's the same if you go from this side, 2 rectangles yung makikita nyo. So, why is this important? Because this is a helpful tool para ma-imagine nyo kung nasaan yung bounding box dun sa rotation nyo. Okay? So, why is this important? Kasi, if we go back to the problem, pwede ko actually i-define yung parang bounding box. Parang, if I copy this distance, so this is 2 views away, no? 1, 2. If I copied this distance, this is this one. Tama ba yun? Tapos, I copied the further distance, which is this one. I have essentially created yung first glass box ko, which is this one, no? Talaga ganyan. So, if I remove this, parang ito yung glass box na yon. Yung glass box as rotated dun sa top view. So, which makes it a lot easier to find the, the shape that I'm looking for. Kasi, if you just look at etong, yung oblique plane natin, let's just find the oblique plane. Ito, naka-point view na siya, which is located, ito is, anong line to? This is this line, no? Siya yung nasa top view, ito siya. So, ito siya, nandito yung point view na yon. Now, the second line, which is etong line na to, is this distance away. Tama? Ito siya. So, if I'll just extend this. Ito, this distance is where that second line is. Tama? So, meaning, if I connect this point and this point, and I'll just trim this para mas malinaw, no? Trim ko lang to, and I'll trim this. Ito actually yung edge view nung plane natin. Ito yung edge view na yon. Okay? Now, because I know how it's rotated, no? Kasi alam ko na ito yung pino-point view ko. Again, this is my guide, no? Because I know na ang pinoint view ko is, I'll remove this box right here. Ang ginawa kong point view is ganito. Alam ko na if I find the edge view, pwede ko i-connect diretso siya pa ganyan to find the sort of boot, no? So, again, this is a shortcut kasi I have my I have my 3D model ready. Pero without even thinking, pwede ko nang i-diretsong connect lang to. And I can trim this down. And yan na yung final answer ko. Okay? So kaya siya madali kasi I have my box right here. Itong 3D model ko. If you're doing this manually, yung pen and paper talaga, yung time ko and time ni Jody, hindi nyo magagawa to, no, na parang readily ini-imagine lang kasi wala kayong ganito, wala kayong pang-rotate. Pero dahil may pang-rotate kayo, gamitin nyo na. Parang gamitin yung advantage nyo, no, na parang meron kayong rotatable object. Alam nyo ito yung pinoint view nyo, this line and this line. You ginawa yung point view siya. Ito yung expected object. You already have your guidelines. So, why not use them? So, ito na siya. So, kaya, sure tayo na ganito yung itsura. Parang ganito yung boot natin. So, we have done the first part. Ang gawin na lang natin is to find the edge view. Now, this is the difficult part kasi, and medyo mali pala yung pinili kong choice, no? Kasi, ang gagawin natin is, we'll have to do the second reference plane pa ganyan. So, medyo complicated siya kasi papasok tayo dito. Tama? Dito yung final answer natin. Tama? Kasi if we try to do it from the opposite side, ang mangyayari is, nasa likod tayo. Para ang mangyayari is, if we try to do it from the opposite side, instead of finding a view that looks like this, ang mangyayari is, ang view natin is pa ganyan. Na, imagine ba? So, parang ganito yung view natin. Which is, naka-true size nga si oblique plane, pero nasa opposite end siya. Gets? So, parang, in a way, mali yung pinili nating view, no? Although it was the easier view. Pero regardless, mukhang, kasi ganito yung goal natin mapakita yung true size. Something like this. So, okay lang. Mangyari lang is, papasok tayo sa loob, which is sobrang gulo kasi nandito yung expected answer natin, no? Somewhere dito. Kaya ba natin siya ma-recreate? Para nandito siya. Baka, kaya siguro dito, better nga dito tayo gumawa. Pag dito tayo gumawa, hindi natin, feeling ko pag dito tayo gumawa, ang lalabas is, nandito tayo sa side na to, malaki yung space, or dito sa side na to. Okay? So, try ko ulitin. Kaya ko ba 10 minutes? Sige. Itutuloy ko lang to. If you have to go somewhere, pwede naman umalis na kayo. Pero, continue ko lang yung recording. Try ko tapusin to. Tapos, send ko sa inyo. Feel like mali yung choice ko dito, no? Dapat pumunta ako dun sa right side. Kasi, again, tama naman to. Walang mali dito, no? Ang issue lang is that masikip yung space dito sa gitna. Kasi, I'll have to go from here, pababa, para makuha yung ARP2. Which is not ideal, no? So, I'll reconsider my options. Ang gagawin ko is, I'll move this around. Gagawin ko is the other option, which is ganito yung view. Parang ganyan. Ito yung ipo-point view ko. So, expectation ko is, again, because I have the 3D object, ang expectation ko is para siyang cube, parang rectangle dito, tapos may other rectangle sa taas, pero merong parang hati dito. Yun yung expectation ko. So, try natin. So, top view. Again, always just follow the, sa initial portions ng problem na to, we just want to follow kung nasaan kung nasaan yung oblique plane. So, ito yung, this line is, wait lang. Gawa tayo ng perpendicular. This line is this line, no? Tama? So, ito siya. So, naka-point view siya dyan. Tapos, ito na ngayon, this line, this distance, is this line right here. Naka-point view siya dyan. So, ito yung ngayon, yung parang edge view natin. Tapos, same strategy as before. Pag inikot kasi natin to, we should get a rotation such that para siyang glass box lang na nakaikot, no? So, I can find itong farthest extent na to. Tapos, itong another farthest extent, which is this one. Tapos, from here, I'll build the glass box, no? Parang ganyan. Oop. Para tayo nagkakamali. Okay? Tapos, ang pwede kong gawin, I know that it's here, no? So, pwedeng gawin ko is ganyan. And extend lang natin to. Tapos, ito, yung farthest distance is this one. Yun yung bounds ng glass box ko. Pwede ko i-copy yan. Like so. And, again, because I know what the shape would look like, ano nga yung itsura nun? Para siyang Kopya. Para siyang ganyan, no? Ganito yung itsura. Tama ba? Parang kalahati nung glass. Ito, naputol kasi to dahil doon sa kinarve out natin. Okay? So, mangyayari is ito tama. And kita ba to? Tama ba? Wait lang ha. Medyo nalilito ko. Pinoint view natin siya. So, nakaganyan siya, no? So, dapat hindi kita. Ito yung front view. Side view. Tama nga. So, dapat, ang makikita lang natin is pero bakit nandito to? Wait lang ha. From the top. Okay. Kaya ako nalito. Kasi, sorry. Wala pala to, no? Kasi ano to, hollow pala to. Glass box lang pala yung kanina. So, dapat wala nga to. Okay. Yeah, okay. This makes a lot more sense. So, wala na nga to. Eto. Ganyan na siya. Tama? So, ang final answer will look like this. Tapos, trim ko lang itong mga excess lines, no? Parang ganyan siya. And this makes a lot of sense. Ay, sorry. Not. Hanggang dito lang ang iti-trim ko. Tama? Parang ganyan siya. And ang only hidden line will be this line right here, which is nagko-coincide din kasi siya dito sa line na to. So, no hidden lines necessary, no? Tapos, kung titingnan mo, again, yung imagination natin, if titingnan natin from this point of view, ang nakikita lang natin is something like this. Tama? Which is, tama naman. Yun din nakita natin from this point of view. Okay? So, okay tayo dito. Next natin is to find the edge view. Ganun din pala. Papasok din pala talaga siya dito, no? So, regardless, mukhang papasok siya dun sa, ano? So, I'll make a parallel reference line. Parang ganyan. And I'll just trim this no para lang mas malinis. Tapos, move ko siya konti to the right para lang tipid tayo sa space. And now, I can create okay? Tapos ito, unahin ko muna yung oblique plane kasi ito yung medyo mahirap hanapin, no? So, I'll do this point. Ito muna. This point is saan ba to? Nandito, no? Mark ko muna with a point. P-type. Okay. Next is this point, which is ito siya. Trim. Pwede ko na i-trim to. Next is this one, which is ito. Mark with a point. Lastly is etong distance na to, which is etong point na to. Tama. This one. Tapos kung i-connect natin siya, let's remove this one. Kaya pala siguro i-trim natin to, no? Para mas malinis. Notice how itong shape na to, it's the same shape as yung ano natin. Wait, hindi siya same shape. It should be a parallelogram, no? Kasi this is a parallelogram. Bakit siya hindi naging parallelogram? Baka nagkamali ako ng... Wait lang, Ito. Okay, dapat dito. Mali yung distance na kinopya ko. It's a parallelogram dapat. Yan. Yan yung parallelogram. Okay? Trim lang natin yan. So, basis natin is parang pagka na let's do UCS. Parang this is an easy way to do the auxiliary, di ba? UCS, face, dikit natin dito sa face na to. Tapos, let's just do top view. Ito yung expected na answer natin. Parang ganito. But since naka-rotate siya, parang ganito siguro makikita natin. Something like this. Ito yung parallelogram, tapos may triangle tayo dyan, may inclined, tapos may ganyan. So, dahil meron na tayo nito, and siguro, wait lang i-screenshot ko lang to para lang, hindi ko na kailangan ikot ng ikot, no? I can do a screenshot. Tapos mamaya, balikan ko na lang yung screenshot na yun. So, eto siya. Eto, hanapin ko na lang to. This is the triangle. The triangle tip is located here. So, eto, hanapin ko yung distance na to. Oh, wait. Ito yung tip ng triangle, no? This one. So, hanapin ko yung distance niya, which is this. So, eto siya. Okay. Yan. It's slowly, oh no, running low na. It's slowly starting to take shape, no? Ito yung triangle na to, itong nandito. Okay? So, meron na tayong triangle na yan. And next ko na lang is the incline, no? If I continue this line, that will actually be the location of the incline, no? And the incline is here. So, pwede kong i-connect. Papunta dyan. Like so. And because I know that it's the incline is a parallelogram, no? Itong incline na to, it's a parallelogram. Ito, edge view niya. Ito, parallelogram siya. It's a rectangle. So, pwede kong i-parallel lang to dito. So, notice how, once you build the first few portions, kayang-kaya na i-predict kung nasaan yung other portions. No? The other ones, pwede nyong kumbaga, i-project na lang, pero because you know what the general shape would look like, alam nyo kung saan siya titigil. Okay? Now, this line right here is, this line right here, itong line na to, is parallel to this line. So, pwede kong gawin, I can make it parallel to this one. Tapos, para alam kung saan siya mag-end, I'll use this projection line right here. Kasi ito yung corner na to. Okay? So, if I do a projection line here, kung saan sila nag-meet, yan yung location ng next line. Okay? Right? So, ito, yung hanapin natin itong parang boot shape na to, no? It's somewhere here. Kailangan natin is this corner and this corner. Tama? So, project lang natin to. And it's this distance. Diyan. So, if I connect, di pa. Ito pa. Ito muna, no? Tama? Tapos yung isa, etong corner na to, is found, saan ba to nakalocate? Dito. So, location niya is somewhere dyan. Ito. So, if we get the distance, this distance, ito siya. So, nandito siya. Medyo malayo, no? Yan. So, if I now connect this point and this point, that will now be the boot shape. And from there, because I've already found essentially all the, I don't know, parang faces that are connected to the glass box, kayang-kaya ko na to mabuo. Itong front plate na to, itong parang ito, rectangle na to, this is just a parallelogram. So, pwedeng ganyan. And ito, parallel siya dito. And, tama, nabuo na natin. It's the same as yung na-imagine natin. This is now its true size now. This is a true size. Okay? And same ba siya dun sa ano natin? By the way, what you can do is, pwede palang gawin yung class is, pwede UCS, tapos, di ba, dinikit natin using face, F, dikit natin siya dito, accept. Pwede actually natin i-name tong UCS na to, no? So, pwede natin sabihin na UC, tapos, etong unnamed, change nyo lang siya, rename, tapos sabihin nyo, let's say, ano ba tawag dito? True size, pwede sabihin natin true size, or ox. Parang ganyan. Ox. Ito yung target natin na ox. So, okay. So, pwede nga gawin nyo, once you name kasi a UCS, pwede na siya, nasa drop down na actually siya. So, that's a good way to, instead of yung ginawa ko na screenshot, pwede actually ganito. So, pwede from world coordinate system, tapos gusto nyo balikan yung UCS na kakagawa nyo lang, pwedeng ox, tapos top view, balik siya agad dito. So, that's a quick way to, save a sort of view, no? So, ito, it's exactly the same as nakuha natin, no? Notice how ito yung shape na yon. Tapos, doon sa natin, world coordinate, balik tayo. Ito yung final answer natin. It's exactly the same. Kulang na lang dito is, yung hidden lines, pero I think you can figure the hidden lines for yourself, no? Or pwede naman, sige, mabilisan lang. Hidden lines. Ito siya. Usually, yung mga hidden lines is the backside lang naman. So, ito and ito. Tapos, pwede kong line type. Let's do load. Doon tayo ulit sa JS hidden. 0.1 ata. No? 0.1. Tapos, baguhin natin to properties, control 1, line type, let's do JS. Ay. Yan. This should be the final answer. Ganito yung final answer natin. Ito, wala nang hidden lines though because sakto kasi yung mga hidden lines. Etong, sakto nga ba? Sakto, no? Ito yung hidden line kasi nandito sa likod nito. So this is what the final answer should look like, no? Nakaano siya. Alright? Nakuha ba? Nasundan naman? Ano ba pinakamahirap na part? Lahat? Feeling ko sobrang nakakatulong itong 3D. So kailangan medyo gamay nyo na kung paano gumawa ng mga 3D images from the multi-view, no? If you have the 3D image, sobrang powerful yan, no? Kasi you can rotate it around. Kayang-kaya nyo makita kung ano yung expected views. So, ARP1 should look like this. ARP2 will look like this. Parang ganyan. So, sobrang powerful niya, no? And you can save views. Pwede ang gawin nyo is, sinave ko yung view. So, nangyari is, I can always go back to the view. Ano yung target auxiliary view ko, which is this one. Alright, so yun lang muna for today. Thank you for coming in. Tapos pwede ko na i-stop yung recording, no? I'll send you all the files, yung recording, pati yung DWG file, send ko na lang din.